feels like a big match, doesn't it? There's a lot of people here. It is officially a sellout, and the Doggies are playing for a place in the 8. And can the Bombers win 21 games in the home and away season? Grant gets the first clear touch forward. Not a bad kick right to the goals. What a mark to start the match. Matthew Robbins has taken a specky.
That was brilliant. He just timed it perfectly. He held his opponent, Chris Heffernan, underneath the ball. And just at the last minute, he pushes off, and look at the full stretch to get back to the ball. That is great concentration, great focus on the ball. Perfect start for the Bulldogs.
That's a good catch. Mark. Sorry, I've been corrected so many times.
Kicked 3 last week, got 3 a month ago. Hasn't played a lot of senior footy. Has he missed it?
Oh, that is the weakness of his game. He just gives it away too easily. Tries to act for something there. And not on, but he just does turn it over a bit by foot.
Rodman, very short, found Masidi. Well, that's a blow, isn't it? Very short to Jason Johnson. Tries to crash through Scott West. Good tackle from the back there. Doggies will claim him. Ball up. Didn't he finish last? There's Robbins. There's just called for the trainer. Didn't Jason Johnson finish like a stream train against Carlton last week?
It's quite brilliant out of the centre circle, wasn't he?
Wind, who's got the big job. Darcy starred the last time they took Grant. This is a good sign. Couple of touches. Good probing kick to a man who can kick a long ball himself. Will he use Brown? Johnson does now. Can kick a goal from the pocket. A bit cheekily. Good looking kick. It's a chance. Is it goal? They've got a goal.
Well, many weeks ago we mic'd up the Bulldogs runner Chris Burton, and we heard him go out to Brown and say that you are a designated kicker. We see Robbins coming off the ground now, and he's crook. And you saw here when Jono took it, he thought, no, it's better in Brown's hands, but he works himself free and forward. Almost gets tied up a little bit, but pretty gifted boy by foot and gets the full reward.
So back in the centre, 1-1 to a goal.
Chris Grant has shifted back there, Bruce. He's just wandered down back now.
Terrific start for the Doggies here. Johnson ricochets off Alessio to Brown. Has to give the reflex to Wine. Held it up. Clever move. Ramiro running hard. Wellman to put some pressure on him. Ramiro just scrubs it back with a hooky one. Bouncing ball. Mark Johnson caught by Colin. Belts it away towards the line. Heffernan. Gee, this match has started just as I think the fans wanted it to. And there's a free kick against Mark Johnson to Colin off the play.
Against Hardwick there, Bruce.
What do you reckon, Dipper? Could he go all the way here?
I think so. Look, he's a very good kick for goal, and that's why he's in the side for, Bruce.
He loves playing on like in these situations, but he's probably close enough to take a pot.
Good kick. That is a great kick. Well, if you're writing the script, this is perfect.
Well, it is. Look, we always thought that there would have to be some sort of letdown after the incredible build-up to the Blues and Bombers clash last week. So we just see here, after Hardwick got the handball away, he just trips up Steve Colniuk, and in the end it cost his team a goal. But this is the perfect start for the Bulldogs. Interesting to see how quickly the Bombers can react.
It's Chris Grant, loose of defence. They've had 13 possessions to 3 and got the ball out of the centre twice, the Bulldogs. And I doubt whether any team this year has kicked the first 2 goals against the Bombers in a match. Maybe the Demons did, but it's been a very rare occurrence. Now the Bombers with a chance. Johnson, low kick. Just eludes Hahn. Good tackle there on Lloyd from Curley.
Look at the numbers.
But now the Bombers have them coming back. Wellman, just a little error. Back to Jason Johnson. In short to Carosella. He was very good against this team in round 6. Bangs long, Fletcher forward. Grant takes it. Cox just held Fletcher up.
Bruce, they're playing the Bombers game against the Bombers. They're just flooding back inside 50. There'd be 15 blokes inside the defensive half of the Doggies at the moment.
Runs a long way. You thought that Terry Wallace would try and make it into a scrap, didn't you? And this is what they're doing. And then on the counter burst. And Eagleton running. Could keep going a bit further if he wants to. Not a bad kick. Oh! Just taken it back against the man. Abusing.
Put it up over him, didn't he? Won't be happy about that, Garlic. It's good.
That is brilliant.
Good take.
Switches to Carosella. To Jason Johnson, who has to Hardwick, I should say. Good kick, and gets to Masidi.
Winder has to mind Fletcher forward of the ball here. Now he's going to be too quick for him if he gets on a burst.
There are dogs everywhere in front of him. Has to come laterally to Wellman.
Well, he's Chris Grant's man, so he's obviously loose down back to the Bombers.
And the stretch comes from Hahn, who takes again to Grant. Touched off the boot. Garlic gets loose. Back to Brown. Good handball. Johnson got a bad bounce. Wellman threw it away. Johnson, terrific second effort there. Boundary throw in.
Good result for the Doggies.
It would have been naive to think they weren't going to block it up like this, as we see a replay of Mark Johnson. Look at this, right over the top. Didn't get it at the first attempt, but kept his eyes on it. And that takes confidence to do something like that when you're playing down back.
Well, we like that.
And if you're an umpire, you'd put your finger up. That was out. He did catch it, didn't he? Front spot, Blumfield, Johnson. Boy, the Doggies fired up here. They have come out running, haven't they?
Change has been made already, and now Long going forward. He just done on the wing on young Brown, who's started off very, very well.
Rioli a kick behind the play too, Tipper. Prize the man that's come in for her tonight. If you've just joined us live in Melbourne tonight, this match. Great to have you with us. It's 2-1, the Doggies, and the Bombers yet to score.
Interesting too, well forward of this in the goal square. We've got Fletcher, who's playing at full forward, and Lloyd has come out to the pseudo centre half forward. That's to the left of this bounce down on your screen.
Bartlett, Rodman belted it away. Blumfield beaten it by Johnson. Good stuff, Contessa. Attacked it hard. Now takes them on to Ramiro. Can have a bounce. Rodman won't catch him, you wouldn't think. Ramiro decides not to take him on all the way. Centres it, but it's a bad choice, I think, in the end, because it was 2 against 1, and Solomon takes an easy one. Poor play by Ramiro in the end.
It's always the problem, though, when you flood back. When you do run forward, you don't have the same number of targets to go to.
Alessio wants Fletcher. Well done, though, by Cox. Fletcher must have fancied himself there.
Well, let's have a look at what happened before. Look at all the Doggies. White shorts. Look at the white shorts there. They just flood back with. Look how many inside defensive 50.
That's on the ground mark. 12 inside the defensive 50 last time the Bombers went into attack.
Good shot, that one from the top. Johnson's kick to the line and finds it.
Well, but Terry Wallace will be happy the way that's going to happen. I mean, he'll accept that there'll be problems when they go forward with lack of numbers, but he's happy to scrap it up like
It almost looks, that handball that went to Johnson, which he missed, coming from Nathan Brown. This is a rehearsed effort. This isn't made up on the spot here.
Jason Johnson bursts through, goes to half forward, Cox in the front spot. It's going to be a hard wall to penetrate, isn't it? Grant got a high one, allowed to play on, and kicks almost centre wing. Good mark by Brad Johnson, who started terrifically well here.
Yep, Adam Ramanaskas is picking him up. He did a very serviceable job on Scott Camporelli last week, so this will be a good duel as well.
Did it well in the end, Johnson. He didn't panic and then goes to centre half forward. Bartlett's the target, had 3 to beat. Carousella. Smith, first time he's been into the action. Bartlett makes a contest. Rodman's got him. Bartlett belts it out. Bombers everywhere over the top, ball up.
It's funny, we've got so many classy key forwards out there tonight, but they may struggle because in most occasions they're going to be outnumbered when flying for the ball.
Have a look at the quarters one. It's a real mismatch, isn't it? The Bombers 63 out of a possible 80.
Well, a lot of the times the Bullies have won their games with just one good quarter right at the end after losing the first 3.
Libber down low, gets it to West. Good play there by Masidi. Take it off him, Eagleton. Scrapping hard. Heffernan's handball was pretty good. Hardwick on the up, just missed his targets. It was a hard ball though. Back to Brown. Brown's kicks a beauty to Garlic. Well done by Mark Johnson, because Garlic was in the van and then Ramanauskas has got him tied up. Well, we're over 9 minutes and the Bombers haven't scored. That hasn't happened too often this year either.
Well, they haven't had a possession inside their forward 50 yet. Every time they've gone forward, they've been picked up or picked off by the Bulldogs extra men in defence.
Playing 3 back there, Dermot. 3 spare back in the back half, the Bullies. Alessio. Masidi to Hardwick at half back. Short to Fletcher. They've been looking for him as they've been going forward. They've got him at long last, but he's a long way out. Ramanauskas is going to have to run it. Now McCurry's in short. They go over the top to Lucas. Lucas's handball's a bit slow. Lloyd was put under the pump. He's beaten 1. Can he beat all 3? Can't in the end. Grant playing a big first quarter. Goes to ground. Hacked out of there by McCurry. Not a bad ploy. Back to Cox. Belts it back. Now the Wolves, the Bombers wall. Alessio collected. Gets the free.
Big Sess wants to just make a point known to Brad Johnson. I won't stand for that.
play-on call would have been handy. Dustin Fletcher would have run to about 55 and had a ping at them.
Goes short to Lucas. Lucas goes very wide. Well done, Lloyd. Gone.
That's holding.
Gee, he had it for a long time, didn't he?
Yeah, given a bit of latitude there.
Cox in close was terrific to Johnson.
That's
Deliberately
deliberate.
bounces out of bounds, boundary throw.
Got away with it too.
Let's have a look at this.
You know what?
One,
Look, he
two,
couldn't see an option to
three.
handball to, so he just tried to ride it, Dermot, and see, well, if he does slip off,
Took
I'll be able to
3
recover
paces.
and have a shot.
Took 3 paces and then tried to ride through it.
Wine beats Alessio, then belts towards the line. Well, it's going to be a scrap, isn't it?
Well, they don't want to be blown out of the water early. At least you can see that with the doggies. Pryor on screen, Barnesy there, and Buick.
And just talking about the bench there, Matthew Robbins was trying to come up. He's got a sort of a jar grind there, boys. He might struggle to come back on. They're working on him very, very hard.
Gee, missed his chance too, Dipper. Took a specky and then missed the shot. Curley's kick to the centre wing and out of play.
And as I've spoken, Bruce, he's heading towards the rooms now with the physio, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Now, Dermot, we know...
Have a look at this. Sorry, to jump in. Only once have the Bombers had 100 points kicked against them this year compared with 11.
Well,
Their defence has been spectacular.
You wouldn't think that'd add to that tally tonight either. But, Dermot, the Bulldogs want a scrap. It looks like being that way. How do the Bombers break that up?
Yeah, look, I suppose they've just got to wait till they tire a bit and then they'll struggle to run back with the flight of it. Once
Kick
again.
by long. I tell you what, if you don't come up with an answer in the next half hour, ring Sam.
Because there are
he'll
loose
let me
men
know.
everywhere.
Liberatore through the centre.
Here's a go.
Goes out wide and gets to Garlick. Garlick back to Bartlett. Pretty good build-up. Takes 1 on 2. In trouble. Goes to the pocket. Ramiro forced to kick. Left foot to the goal square. Colin, you can't get into the van. Can't get into the picture. He reckons he was shepherded, but Wellman's got it. To Hardwick to Wellman.
That's a good switch of direction because this is where they had an excess of players and they can really run the ball now.
Rioli. Little one to Mercury. Now he looks up and thinks, now where do I go? He's got a lot of players in the centre square.
Gee, look at the loose Bulldogs players back. There's about 5 of them loose in defence.
He's just not willing to kick it forward here at the moment. Can't spot someone. Alessio moves through because Wind is zoned off him 100 metres out of screen.
Oh, that's costly. 50 metres against Steve Crediot.
We saw that in Sydney last Saturday night. Crediot's... This is a... Oh.
See, that's wrong. Crediot's eyes are on Scott Lucas and Steve Alessio just runs into him and the ball bounces loose.
It's a shocking decision.
Yeah, it's not good.
The same thing happened against the Swans with the Kangaroos where David King got a goal last Saturday night.
I don't think Alessio was trying to fox the umpire. I reckon that was an honest mistake. I reckon a bit of common sense might have been the best adjudication there.
Just the umpire's on the wrong side then.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's one way of beating the zone.
Yes.
It is a big penalty too in the context of the way this game is going to be played.
And he's put it through.
Kicks him well.
There's been a few question marks over the fitness of John Barnes this week, so they've decided to start him on the bench, which gives Steve Alessio the great opportunity to get involved in the play, and he'll be pretty happy to get a goal under his belt very early. Big chance for him to show a really rejuvenated performance against the top ruckman in Scotty Wine.
Yep.
You can just see again this look. Steve Crediot had no chance there. Absolutely no chance whatsoever, and as much as the coach hates seeing 50-metre penalties given, you can't blame the player for that.
Have a look at that from behind the goals. Interesting shot. That's from behind the Bomber goals.
Well, what they've done is the Bombers have just taken all their loose players and gone down and mashed them up, and they're playing a 7 or 8 man forward line.
Yep.
Liberetta best to West, and West belts to centre half forward. Once they've got a few numbers here, the Bulldogs. Gee, courageous Eagleton cops a high one and gets a free kick.
Well, he can go the journey from here. He'll take a big arc and swing out onto his left, and he'll pump it pretty low. This is his range.
And Hardwick's hurt himself too there, boys, but...
I think at the end of the night that for the Bulldogs to win, these are the chances they've got to take. At 52 metres, get these goals.
Hardwick's in trouble.
Hardwick's in trouble, is he?
It looks like he's had an ankle injury.
Yeah, they're only half chances for 95% of the players in the league.
He's in trouble. Let's see if Eagleton can. He'll hook it a bit. Runs out now. Good looking kick.
That's home.
It's got the legs. It's there. He's kicked the goal. Well, what a minute. Eagleton gets a 40%er and Hardwick's in big trouble and getting carried from the ground.
Yep, late inclusion. Pryor will get an early taste of the action tonight. Probably not what he wanted in terms of seeing a teammate injured, but a good opportunity for him. But it's interesting now, it's very open down the Bulldogs forward line and quite the opposite in the Bombers forward line.
Pryor getting his first run.
Pryor comes on. Hardwick in trouble, carried from the ground, and Pryor comes on. That's where he's done the damage in the ankle area. Stopped. See that he was in a bit of pain. Alessio and Wine.
Oh, well, right.
Jason Johnson through the centre. So 3 goals to 1 here after a quarter of an hour. Contessa was held on to and then courageously took Fletcher on. And he's had a couple of good minutes here.
Oh, that's a try.
He is gone. The advantage given. Not much advantage in the end, except they get it forward and Rioli is Mr. Magic. Back to Carosella. Oh, clever. Rioli's good enough from here. Lines them up and hooks it badly and Cox marks it.
That's just about the worst kick of his career, I reckon, Rioli. He's very talented by foot.
Geez, acceleration's exciting, though, the way he got to the ball first.
Liberatore wide to Ramiro. He's got hold of it now. May take Ramanauskas on. No, goes down the line. Curley gets around pretty easily there.
Yep.
And then goes to half forward. The good signs here. Bartlett holds it in. Off the ground. Eagleton. Busy early, still running onto it. Comes back, Smith was the target, goes to ground.
Well
Kick
done.
was a bit ordinary. Good play by West, takes on Solomon with courage. Masiti goes at West, holds him up, ball up. Just thinking about Alessio, the umpire goes down. Remember the night that when Sheets didn't play Barnes, he gave Alessio a big crack. You wonder if this is the big night for Alessio. Show us what you've got here tonight, 2 weeks out. There's Hurd sitting in there.
You get that feeling, don't you? It's a make or break whether he's going to be the #1 in the finals.
Masiti, or even a strong number 2, Dermot.
Yep.
Wide belt to the line. Doesn't quite get there. Ramanauskas overran it. Ramiro scrapped it back to Grant. Ducks his head. Did it very well, though. And then delivers and finds Eagleton, who's been busy. And then inboard to Brown. Brown in the heart of the centre square. A poor handball in the end. They might be okay. Curley can stop and prop. This is bad footy. Long can make them pay. Can he expose them to Lloyd? And then Lloyd bangs it. And bangs it home for beauty. Given up a bit here, the Dogs, haven't they?
Yeah, they gave that one up pretty easy. I tell you what, is this a game of chess?
Have a look at the setup in the Bombers forward line. They're all just basically right in the spine of that forward setup.
Gee, Jason Johnson has been great in the centre square.
He's fallen first.
Well, I reckon West is stiff because he made sure he didn't go into him.
He fell to ground first there.
So Wellman gets it. It's 2 goals to 3-1. Comes wide to Ramanauskas. And good mark. And then terrifically on to Long. Gets around.
Oh, get in. Get in.
Gee, that would have been brilliant. Hasn't he lit up the place a couple of times very early tonight?
It was 93 revisited for a moment, wasn't it? There's Hardwick.
Yeah, we've just seen Hardwick there, Bruce. He's just got a nasty kick on the shin area. He's just been iced up at the moment, and we expect him to be back on soon.
I tell you what, Dipper, it'd be your nightmare, wouldn't it? You don't miss a match for the year. You know you're going to be in the finals in 2 weeks. You wouldn't want an injury. Bad kick, Masiti to Fletcher. Well done, though, by Brown. Fletcher throws it. Free kick.
Yep, he's been pinged. Wasted opportunity there. He had a couple of players to his left, Dustin Fletcher, if he could have shot the quick handball out first. It's one of those kicks where it was always going to get smothered.
Goes wide to Cox, to Croft. At half-back, looks up. To West, good kick, he waited it, didn't he? And then West can go away from Ramanauskas and kick to ground, and nearly got him.
Lost the footing.
Just couldn't get anything on it, could he? Couldn't get up. And then Solomon wide finds Ramanauskas inboard, slow handball, poor handball. Smoking Joe's got to sit and wait, threw it away.
Good throw. And he's been pinged for it.
Well, it was a poor handball from Ramanauskas that really cost them the turnover there. And
West to Eagleton to Smith there, he can bomb it too.
Could cost them the goal in the end.
Well, like Eagleton 5 minutes ago, Dermot, these are the ones they've got to kick to win.
This is finals heat, isn't it? I mean, this is a great dress rehearsal for the Bombers. They've been coasting in recent weeks, and this is a great dress rehearsal on the 2 weeks out from finals.
Kick by Smith, he's missed it. Wellman and it goes to the pocket. I've got to take you on for a moment. I didn't think they coasted last week against Carlton. For
sorry. Sorry, I was thinking of the week before against the Hawks, yeah. No, they were really pressured last week. But this is really hot at the moment. Yep. Bruce, once again, I'll bow to you.
Right forward pocket. Bartlett, Libber. He's slotted it through. It's a goal. That little Bulldog.
Do you know what I like after this? Normally when you kick a goal and a team's very emotional, as the Bulldogs are, the other players come over and grab you and really give you a big pat.
Yep.
I reckon Libber attacked his teammates after kicking this goal. You have a look at it. He roves the pack beautifully, throws it on the boot, then he takes off. He fends Eagleton off, then he just puts a headlock on Trent Bartlett. He is an excitable young fella.
There's no education in that. It was just pure instinct, wasn't it?
The Carlton Brains Trust, they go to Adelaide this weekend. Dermot, the blokes that you highlighted before the game. Browns had 7, Ramiro 7, West 5, Liver 4.
Well, they're just dominating, aren't they? They're finding space in there and making it tough as well. There's another one.
Yeah, make that 8 for Ramiro as he kicks to half forward. Colinick made a very good defensive spoil. And then the pressure now on
this is
Solomon.
danger.
Colinick scrapping, Solomon back to Massini. The players are going down a bit. Keep an eye on the dipper. The kick out wide is a good one to Carosella, to Blumfield. Stops and props to Carosella, to Blumfield. Nearly in range. Kick to full forward to Lloyd. At the back, one-on-one. Fletcher, Alessio. They don't have that crummer. That was the problem. Now they do. They've got the best in the business.
What's he done?
He's going to kick a goal from Lloyd. Gee, McCurry, what were you doing?
Do you know what the problem was there? When he first got that ball, he just wanted to kick it through along the ground, and Matthew Lloyd was standing right in his way. He didn't want to handball to Matthew Lloyd. He wanted Lloyd to get out of the way, and Lloyd just stood there, and in the end, he thought, if I kick this, I'm going to kick it into Matthew Lloyd. You have a look. The original contest there, Fletcher holding off the opponents well. The ball spills out eventually. McCurry's going to run in an open goal. Matthew Lloyd's right in front of him. In the end, he had to sort of go back and handball over the top to him.
Why wouldn't you just give it a bit of elevation and kick it over his head? Contessa really fell away from him there at the front of the pack. Just lost contact with his body. Saw Sean Wellman there, just got a bit of a knock in that last encounter.
Dogs 4-3 out of the middle. Make that 4.5 as Wine gets a little one. Colin Wellman squeezes wide. They're starting to find a way, the Bombers. To Massidi, to Ramanauskas. They're giving that little handball all the time and then breaking a line. Ramanauskas kicks to Lloyd. They get numbers back. Grant probably could have taken the mark in the end. Belts away. Lloyd working hard with Grant. It's in the pocket. Lloyd back and then forced over the line. Boundary throw. Jason Lloyd's 90 goals. He's into
the nervous 90s now. So
first time under Sheedy's reign that anyone's got that far.
Oh, look, we can't wait for him to kick his 100. I mean, the sooner he gets there, the sooner the pressure will be off the poor young fellow. Grant
got himself into trouble there and made a reasonable fist of it. Wind back to Contessa, to Grant. Playing so deep and then hacks it away. Lucas has got it. Now, Brediott, be careful. Ooh.
He's got Fletcher short.
Not unbelievably to think that he could bomb this. He's the longest kick in their team. Doesn't give himself a chance and then hooks to the front. Who's the flyer? Lloyd got up really high. Carosella, Blumfield. Ramiro puts a tackle on. Carosella in the pocket. Left foot back, but didn't have anything on it. And Contessa, who's playing a very good first quarter, has got it.
Johnson has to break further up the field. He'll come into the top of the shot now.
Gee, there's a lot of players slipping or half slipping at the moment. Like this, it must be a little bit soft, the turf.
Cox, there was an element in danger from Crediot, but he got Cox. When you go short, when you're flooded down back, you just can't miss the target, can you?
Oh, you're very slow when you're coming forward, at least to the centre of the ground. So unless you hit that target, it's coming back twice as quick as you get it out there.
Probably going to have to go to Wine with a bomb here, and he's done that. Alessio goes early, takes a beauty. He hung there and he took a very good mark. Then uses Fletcher, playing all over the shop at the moment. Short to Blumfield. Again, they want to give the handball to break the line to Heffernan, and then goes long. Cox will probably feel the mark. Does courageous. No free kick, he's stiff. The ball comes to Hahn. Well done to Ramiro. Decides not to go to Croft and goes straight to the line. It's poor play because Croft was in board, and then Ramanauskas back to Carosella. He's got players everywhere. Goes backwards to Fletcher. We know what a long kick he is. Might fancy himself here.
Oh, look at that.
Big kick. and it's a behind.
What about the range on that kick? That's travelled 65 metres, that drop punt.
I reckon, though, I mean, it's a magnificent kick off the boot, but in team disciplines, I reckon that's a blaze away. I don't reckon Kevin Sheedy would be all that happy with it.
He hasn't missed by far.
3-on-1, and he's got a good piece of it. If it just drops a fraction short, it's a 3-on-1 and it's a carry out.
Almost feel that the Bulldogs have got to be in front at quarter time to feel good about themselves.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's 25-20. They've been closed on here by the Bombers, who've won 16 of their first quarters this year. Back to Robran. Short. Good mark by Carosella to Rioli. Takes Crediuk on and misses Blazers. He's had 2 poor kicks in the first quarter.
And that's the worst kick he's ever done, Dermot.
Yeah, just about. He did cop a bit of pressure there.
He just took one too many steps. He got pushed off balance as he kicked, and as a result, basically kicked it mid-ball instead of on the end of the ball to hook it around.
Gee, Cox has had a bit of it. I know he's only had an opponent for half the time, but getting it.
Good mark, Masidi. It took a bit of courage.
And he get another opportunity here.
To Jason Johnson, can run 10 metres and go. He runs about 5 and then bangs to Wellman. Free kick.
Oh, no, umpire. That was a good man-on-man contest.
He did try and throw him. Probably.
But they were both pushing and jostling for
but
position.
he probably knew he had the bigger body strength, and he thought, well, I'll just get rid of him and I'll throw him.
That's a good return to Johnson from Brown down low.
So Bartlett's on the move through further afield.
Ramiro's short term, and he might. There's Wellman's finger. He's probably going to be pulled back into joint here. How many's Jose had in the first quarter? Make it 10 now.
It's a good return.
To Brown. It's like late in the last quarter, isn't it, when they're a point in front?
They just don't have any targets to kick to because they're all flooding back. This is where they really have to be disciplined and make sure that they do run down into space.
Tell you what, Jace, you really limit your scoring chances playing like this, don't you?
Yep. But they're happy to do that. They'll play a low-scoring game all day, all night, the Bulldogs.
Garlic to Liver, and Blumfield just cuts it off. But again, the Bulldogs won't be disappointed with all that.
Not at all.
Here's how Wellman did his finger and the free kick.
See, once there, he's tried to.
Well, mind you, Nathan Brown does have his right arm locked around his hip.
Yeah, but it's not actually holding. I'll take it.
Just giving his cheek a squeeze. Bartlett back to Ramanauskas. Good vision to Lucas. Now Long's taken off for him.
Oh, he's too slow, Scotty. He's held it too long. It's going to go to big numbers.
And all
Rioli.
Rioli made the contest and Grant cleverly claimed it.
Claimed it, you're right. Cleverly claimed it, Bruce.
He was just too slow to kick to the lead originally. Held onto it and wanted to take a bounce. It was wasteful.
Contessa wide to Hahn, got him.
Had a great game against Carlton 2 weeks ago, this boy.
One of 2 rookies they've got out there tonight. The other kid looks like he's 14. Gee, Garlick's on here.
Made the push.
This would be. It's a free kick coming back.
I reckon he's a bit stiff there. It was all in the one movement. When you give them a wrap from behind, you're in trouble. But if it's just taking up the slack and shoving them forward gradually, you're a show.
So Wellman gets it and then goes to Fletcher.
Now it's this next kick. The Bulldogs are pulling right back inside 50 and virtually conceding the ball out here. Now he'll have to go for a big torpedo from
They
there.
want to get back quick, the boys. Nope. Doesn't matter. Good quarter of footy.
Well, they're in front, and that's part of the battle. They led Carlton 2-3 to 2-1 at Optus 2 weeks ago when they won the scrap there. Only 22 goals kicked in that whole match. Well, Eagleton limping. We know that Hardwick's out for the moment, and Robbins is out. Gee, what a quarter it was. So interesting. It's 4-1 to 3-2. You're watching it on the big Sports Network. So start of the second term here. It's one thing to be in front of quarter time against the Bombers. Can you still be there at half time?
Not many have.
Let's see what happens in the next 30 minutes. Masidi out of the centre. 2 centre half forward. Real hot spot here. Crediuk did well to work to the front and then down low. Libba was a bit stiff. Wine. Again a hot ball. Crediuk. The Bombers with numbers. Masidi. Libba just attacked the footy. Probably copped a high tackle. Ramiro. Blumfield. Ramanauskas. Crediuk. It's a test of wheels here. Gee, Crediuk tries to get it out now. Jason Johnson gets the clever kick to Long, who was very good in the opening term.
Well, that was brilliant footy. If they reckon you don't win games in the gym room, that's where you do.
That was a great kick and a great mark. He's got Lucas on, but he's going back to the shot. Michael Long, he turned in field and he saw the long lead coming from Dustin Fletcher from full forward, and he kicked it to that open side. And he had the obvious height advantage. He put it out in front where he could run and jump at the ball. He didn't have to wait and have the players coming over the top of him. So it was a well-weighted kick from Michael Long.
Wasn't scared about the player who was dropping into the zone. He put it up over him and let him jump into it.
This will put the Bombers in front for the first time tonight if he kicks it. He has got it.
He was brave enough to kick the ball to an area where he knew he could get it. There was a Bulldog player there, but his bravery was rewarded because he just such a good jump at the ball there and good mark in the end.
And you could just see that he kicked it away from the loose players that were flooding back to the Bulldogs. You saw Chris Grant. You also saw Croft just lurking around centre-half back. They couldn't get to the contest.
Isn't Fletcher symbolic of the versatility of this team? He'll be named All-Australian fullback, won't he?
Yep.
And yet he can go forward as he's done tonight. There's Bomber Thompson. What a big match he's got on Sunday against the Demons, playing for top 4. With the flame and the torch arriving at the MCG. Free kick to the Bombers. Alessio to Johnson. Banging it now. Grant's gone back. Didn't quite hold it. McCurry was a good contester there. Grant's kick doesn't get very far. Lloyd will fancy this one. Got it.
He can go back and have a shot from there. He's almost in range.
Danger period for the Bulldogs here, isn't it?
Gee, he was strong over that.
Goes long. Fletcher again, the target. Probably gives a free kick away, not paid. Solomon took a long time. Hahn with him is Lucas to Brown. Brown forced to kick in a very big hurry and might have run it out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Bruce, just catching up with the benches. Both Hardwick and Roberts won't take part for the rest of the night, so both benches down to 3.
What's the theory on Barnesy? Like it was that other time, Dipper? Just save
yeah, just
him?
saving him at the moment. Alessio's doing quite well.
Wind and Alessio. Back to Ramiro. Contessa just got it away legitimately. Ramiro back to Brown. Good handball to Hahn, to Libbar. They're starting to build from half-back. Libbar's kick to half-forward. And Wellman in the box seat. Johnson running backwards was always in trouble there.
Can't say how good the handball was from Nathan Brown. Most 99 players that just blaze away forward, but he took the possession by hand.
Poor kick from Rioli there.
Make that 3 Rioli. To Hahn, to Libbar. Oh, danger.
He hasn't seen him.
Mercedes didn't take the mark, but forced it forward. Lloyd. Still Lloyd.
Oh, well done, Matthew Lloyd.
Still Lloyd. Fantastic football.
Brilliant.
Short to long. Back to Carosella within range. Gee, how good was Lloyd?
Oh, he's played on.
Forced to go on. And then kicks to the pocket. Alessio back there. Ramanas.
It's a goal. It's accidentally hit his foot for a goal.
Put that down to unusual, but it's a goal.
He has nearly trod on the ball and in doing so has just squeezed it over the goal line for a goal. You've got to be stiff. Have a look at this as it comes down off the pack. Look, words can't describe how good Matthew Lloyd was there. He was brilliant. He kept the ball forward with his feet. Then he just handballed to himself, found Michael Long. He switches inboard to Carosella, who then plays on after slipping. And have a look at Ramanaskas. He stood on the ball.
Kick 2 in 4 minutes and they kick the last 3 here, the Bombers.
Inside forward 50 after 15 minutes the first quarter. The Dons had 12 and now they're 22, so they've stepped it up another 10.
Mercedes to half forward. Oh,
brilliant.
Good mark, McCurry.
Gee, all players, when you consider how many people are flooding back and the size of the pack that's forming, he's not the sort of guy you expect to be climbing over the top of Chris Grant and Dustin Fletcher to take a mark.
You notice every time they've gone inside forward 50 now, the Dons, I reckon Sheedy's direction at quarter time was, let's not go wide because of the numbers, let's keep it corridor. The last 3 kicks have been there.
Beautiful kick.
And they've just backed themselves in with ability to win the ball.
They are like a thoroughbred, though, like a wait-for-age horse that can accelerate in matches, aren't they, the Bombers?
Yep.
They can just put a space in you.
The big question is now, does Terry Wallace rethink what he's doing? How long do you go persisting with this? I mean, it has worked well, but now all of a sudden they've conceded the last 3 or 4 goals. The Bombers have opened up a little bit of a break. Do you rethink? Do you change? Do you go more attacking now?
I reckon they've still got to go with it. I mean, they're only down by 13 points now.
She's got the congestion in the Bomber forward line.
And Grant calling someone else back as well. He wants more numbers back there.
Haven't been inside their 50, the Bulldogs, in this term. You've got plan A now. Do you go to a plan B for Terry Wallace?
Not yet.
You probably wait till half-time to see how things pan out.
Ramanaskas held up. Wines handball to Ramiro.
Well, they haven't had a win out of the centre yet this quarter, the Bulldogs.
Solomon
Oh, look out.
He dropped it. So Smith's got in, the advantage given. Brown gets it. Goes short.
It's over.
And found Garlick. He wanted Eagleton and he found his lookalike in Garlick.
Geez, been good in the last month.
Gee, Brad Johnson all on his own in the pocket. He figures he's on the best angle to have a shot. He just judged that better.
Kicked 9 goals in the last 2 weeks, and significantly, he got the 6 out of 11 against the Blues, Garlick.
Yep. He's a good matchup up forward, isn't he? And he's another bloke who can play midfield.
So the angle's not difficult. It's a fair roost from 48. Good looking kick. They've got to do it all night if they're going to win.
That's why you don't need to change the plan. Because if you change the plan, that's reliant if things are falling down and you're not getting a share out of the middle. It's just a matter of time until the doggies break even in the centre bounce takeaways. I mean, they're very good in there, and that's the first one they've had for this quarter.
Good chase from Rowan Smith on Dean Solomon. And it's funny, Simon Garlick always thought he was going to get that ball, even though it was probably intended for the player leading up in front of him.
He's one of 8 players who have kicked 5 goals in a match this year for the Bulldogs. They've had a big spread. They need someone probably to kick a half a dozen tonight in a low-scoring type match. Johnson misses Wellman. Brown and Wellman clever to Mercedes, but Libba was magnificent. That was terrific stuff. Wellman was clever, and then Libba knew he had about a 10% chance to make something here, and he did.
Yeah, he's one of the best tacklers, probably classified as the best tackler in the competition.
Well, significant of the flooding of their back line. They've had 11 handballs to 6 kicks this quarter, the doggies. They're just winning it down there with numbers and then running it forward by hand.
4 tackles already to Libba.
And Lucas took on Ramiro and then bounces away and then goes with a wonderful kick to full forward. Carousel, well done, Croft. Grant forced to kick in a hurry. Can he get a pass along?
Look at, oh, good
clever. Rioli.
Well, that is 4 for Rioli now.
He's doing everything right until he actually has to kick the ball, and he's just not striking it well tonight.
I reckon he's got Darren Jarman's boots on normally, but not tonight.
Yeah, they're 4 ineffective kicks he's had already. Well, you'd go a season to get 4 out of him normally, wouldn't you?
Well, that's what Sheeds gets for playing him down back when he turned the match around in the last quarter last week. Kicking like a backman.
He's waiting for it, Cox. Just waiting for all the numbers.
Take an eternity.
Take it to the boundary line, play it safe. If you can't win it, it goes over the line. Well
done at the back by Alessio, though. He's then to Fletcher. Fletcher on hands and knees. West was terrific. To Wine.
More hands.
Got it out to Curley. Well done. To Grant. Clever. Short to Johnson. He could break a line. To Ramiro.
You're in trouble.
To Bartlett. He's got Curley inside. If it sits, he can kick a goal. He's run out of room. And Solomon.
He's been taken high there.
Solomon scragged him in the end. And Eagleton holds it up. Robran. Bartlett. Good contest. Jason Johnson. Solomon probably should have left it for Jason Johnson in the end. The doggies have done pretty well to hold it up.
They've done well to hold it in, though. A bit stiff not to get the high tackle.
I tell you what, Dean Rioli caught him late too, put him down well after he'd gotten rid of the ball.
I tell you what, that'll just make him angrier.
It's a strange move by the Dogs here. Nathan Brown, I thought, playing quite well, has been replaced by Robert Murphy.
He's the kid who looks like he's a real kid, doesn't he? Pryor.
Space.
Still Rioli through the centre. Wine's got a chance, so Rioli just can't find a target. It was too slow. Grant sweeps beautifully to Cox.
Garlick's led from 120 metres away, and he hasn't seen him. It was a fantastic lead. He's going to go back indoors, but that'll open it up down the middle.
This is this young man, Robert Murphy, who was taken as a 17-year-old in the 99 draft. Crediuk.
Happy to slow it down, aren't they, and just inch their way forward.
So Garlick would be having a blow right now, wouldn't he?
He has run 150 metres there for the lead.
Mark Johnson had to run with him, by the way. Crediuk's kick just over centre wing. At the back was Wellman's turn to sweep. There's going to be some high stats for some of these players tonight. To Fletcher. Carousel was off.
He's off.
Oh, he's called it. Gee,
he's down.
His intentions were off by his body language, but he didn't have the chance to move off the mark.
But the umpire called it.
I know. Yeah. I think the umpire called it too early.
He's off. Yeah, he's taken it's a minute pace.
That's tough.
Touch and go, isn't it?
That's tough.
Jason Johnson, low kick again. The numbers are with the Dogs. So even the umpires are slipping over tonight. They've been down 2 or 3 times.
13th possession for Chris Grant.
He'll rack them up all night playing loose. You've got to be conscious of keeping it away from those players when you're kicking it into the forward line.
That's strong hands.
It's a very good mark against a good opponent too.
Bartlett's led well for him. Robran behind.
So Johnson to Bartlett. Robran's timing was okay. West Masidi puts him down. Heffernan back to Carosella to Robran. Playing for his spot in the finals, Robran, isn't he?
Absolutely.
To Ramanauskas. He's got Rioli. He's got a sweeping lot here. To Blumfield. Blumfield's got Rioli really short. Decides to go to the pocket. Got Lloyd. Grant courageously gets back and gets a mark or free kick.
Rowan Smith coming off. Nathan Brown getting on. He's just gone for the match-up here, Terry Wallace. He wants Brown up forward.
Well, Brown's had 11 touches and Smith won.
Barnes getting ready too, boys, to come on.
That's Grant's 14th possession, so we're just going to get big numbers all night, aren't we? Wide Ramiro to Credial. He's got Brown short if he wants him.
This is a modern game of football. This is very technical.
To Contessa. To Cox. Good kick. That's the kick. And now this is where he's going to kick a goal like he did in the first quarter. Dip at the same spot, and he's capable, isn't he?
Yeah, that's why he's in the side, Bruce. He's very capable of kicking the ball long, and I reckon I'll back him on this one. And Barnes about to come on too for the Bombers.
He's pushed someone away there, saying get out of that space. There's a lot of room here. Now, we've seen in earlier years when he had a little bit more pace, he tried to play on and dodge the player. I reckon it went through his mind there.
Couldn't hook it back, and Fletcher doesn't take the mark. Bartlett, terrific contest, tries to fend off, goes to Murphy in the pocket, gets a bit of a hook on it. Not a bad result to fall forward. Lucas, gee, a lot of Bomber players there, as you'd expect. Roman Lucas, still Lucas. Oh, that was cheeky in the end and confident to Robran. Very short.
Have a look at the loose Bulldogs back in defence. There's about 6 of them on their own.
They had them everywhere at half-back, the Dons, if they could have got it in the first possession.
A Long's out wide if Ramanauskas sees him. He's got him now. Long can go on here. Will he take Cox on?
He's out of range.
Goes short and got him to Lloyd. He's paid him back for that one 5 minutes ago.
You know, it's amazing the tactics that as Barnes comes on for Alessio, the tactics that the Bulldogs using by flooding back. They're conceding the entire middle of the ground. They're not pushing up into the midfield. No. They're saying you can have as many possessions as you like there, but that last kick when you attack and kick it into your attacking 50, we're going to have that many men there that you won't be able to hit a target.
He could blow this open, Barnesy. He could be the extra running midfielder that Alessio isn't, that might swing it significantly in Essendon's favour.
Rioli's off as well, boys. Buick is on, and Hudson is on for the Bulldogs.
Eagleton off, thanks, Dipper. Lloyd's kicked a couple. He's in the 90s for the season. Good kick. He's just missed.
Well, goals are at a real premium tonight. I mean, when you do all that hard work and create an opportunity, the side that makes the most of their opportunities will win the game tonight.
You think 14 would win it tonight?
Yep, we've seen a miss at both ends in the last couple of minutes.
Grant.
Well done to Grant.
He's going to pick up midfielder statistics tonight, Chris Grant.
This is coming up for possession number 15.
6 marks he's taken. Winds his target. Up high was Lucas. He dropped it in the end. Mercedes' hands were good.
See, Westy put the toe poke on it then, just to try and get it away.
It again.
Buick. Fletcher's the target. 2 to beat, but good enough.
Now, is he in range? He'd have to kick from basically the edge of the square, which would mean it'd need to be a 60-metre drop punt.
He's got low percentage torpedo range here, I think.
I reckon he might wind up and they really give it everything he's got. Oh, you're kidding.
Have a look at that.
You are kidding.
That's there. That is there. I didn't give him much hope then.
It's cruel when you've got that weapon, isn't it? I mean, most 99.9% of players in the AFL don't have a weapon like that. He's playing fullback. He comes up forward and he's kicking them from the square. That is unbelievable.
Bartlett off and Dooley coming on for the Doggy boys.
He took a risk, Buick, when he switched it because he was out number 2 to 1, but he was good enough to take the mark. And then have a look at this as he unloads from right on the square.
One step out of the square. That's a good hit.
Bartlett on the blow. Gee, that is a great strike from Fletcher, and a damaging blow too. He's kicked 2 second quarter goals, 7 goals to 5. Ramiro to West. Koliniuk worked to the front, did it very well.
He's out of form, Pry. He could have attacked the ball, but he was too busy looking for his opponent. He already had front position.
And then Koliniuk's found his man wide, and Johnson should kick a goal. 30 metres out. And
Run too far.
Yep.
Yeah, he ran too far and put himself off balance as Carosella approached. Koliniuk's only had 3 possessions, but he just seems a lot more lively than that. Johnson there just hung on to it a bit long.
Well, they need someone to come out of the blue and kick 4 or 5. Maybe Koliniuk's the man that can do it tonight. He's getting it enough. Hudson goes back, did pretty well. It's his first goal. Ramanauskas 3 to beat. Back to Hudson. Oh, well done, Ramanauskas. He's a star, isn't he? To Johnson, to Long, to Brown. That's another good handball. To West. Ramiro can kick a goal. 49 out. Gives it everything he's got. It's a good kick. It's a point.
They carry the ball well, don't they?
Turnovers will kill you.
Yeah, you're right, Dipper. They carry it beautifully, don't they? They read it very well when their teammate is going to take possession, and then from going one way to defend, they quickly react and just run forward.
But Dermot, they've missed Johnson's goal and Ramiro's going forward in the last minute. They've got to get them.
Well, the Dons aren't going to let you get away with that scot-free. You'll get X amount of shots at goal against Essendon Footy Club. And that is all she wrote. And if you don't make them count and hurt them, you're in trouble.
They've only been forward 4 times, the Bulldogs, this quarter.
Fletcher's
the Bombers 12.
Out here.
Thanks, Dipper. So Mercury worked it to Masidi, to Pryor, to Blundfield. Fletcher half being picked up. Blundfield down the line. Wellman worked underneath. Curley's taken a mark.
Oh, he's got Dooley straight up the wing here if he finds him, but tends to go short.
To Hudson.
Koliniuk's on right across the ground. They're leaving it open for Garlick.
Gee, Libbo panicked a bit, didn't he? The bounce, all important, but they've got the numbers, the Bombers. Out of the back, Mercury. To Blundfield, to Long. He had Lucas, but he was too short for him in the end. I don't think Lloyd will get there, will he? Well, gee, he made a contest. Freddie Hook now, he's got Ramiro on his own. Ramiro's got Garlick, but Johnson won't go to Ramiro yet. He wants Mark Johnson to come to him. Goes to Garlick. Mark Johnson coming and closing, but now Garlick held up.
He just had to fall to ground then to make sure of that ball. He lost his footing.
There it is again.
Koliniuk short. Pryor's got him this time.
They have got an open setup at the moment, though, when they do get a kick 20 or 30 metres outside of their attacking 50, the Bulldogs. They are trying to pinpoint leads to their small forwards.
So they're inside the 50 here. Can they build something? It's 7-3 to 5-3.
The danger zone's out the back in the centre of the ground.
Dooley and Robber and a couple of number 12s. Mark Johnson. Left foot. Good kick. To Buick. To Carosella. Probably back to Boris. It is now. Normally a terrific field kick, Buick.
Looking for Fletcher again.
They've got all the numbers around him and they got rid of him.
He's good, this kid.
She got rid of him well to hard, didn't he?
Well, he played it well then. He went in and made body contact so that Fletcher didn't have a run and jump at the ball.
Contest, it wasn't a mark in the end, it was a half volley. Johnson, still Johnson. He's gone. He did get his kick away. Robber and Dooley, they overrun it. Mercury playing back for the moment to Carosella. Very short. Lucas on the burst.
There's a one out, Fletcher.
That's terrific stuff, Libber. Refused to concede and got him in the end. And now Brown gets it from Johnson.
Garlick.
Good kick wide to him. Can Garlick take Johnson on? No.
Great tackle. Super tackle.
It's a good contest. Good contest.
Brilliant play.
Stuff, Mark Johnson.
Brilliant.
Wonderful football. Carosella. They're a brilliant team. To Masidi. Short. Inboard. Solomon on the up. Jason Johnson. The umpire got in his road, Lloyd. Well done, Craig.
Oh!
That's 50. You'll pay 50 against that for the late hit.
They had one outs then in the forward line, the Dons. And I reckon this is good umpiring. Here by Sheeney's just going to say, come back with me. 50 minutes, just quieten it down. Good umpiring.
I think it looked worse than it was.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, he made contact to his arm. He didn't make contact to the head. So just a standard 50-metre penalty.
I'll look at it, but
Cox has run all the way down here and given them a target to kick to.
Gee, Chris Grant and Matthew Lloyd toe-to-toe, you wouldn't have expected that too. They're the good guys, aren't they?
It was a pointless act, though. Just wanted to let him know he was there. That's a great kick.
From Brown.
Do you know what happened there? Mark Johnson dropped off, and I think he was still tired from that last effort.
Yep.
Garlic
because Garlic is working him.
Yep.
Garlic has covered some territory, hasn't he?
This is where you want Hudson to stand up.
It's an interesting kick from Cox. He was wanting someone to move with him.
It wasn't a bad kick.
Yeah,
You could see that he recognised there was only one area of space, and he put it there. Let's have a look at the tackle count there, Barney.
Yeah, Bulldogs 22-14 front. Libba leading the way for them.
Heffernan read it well. And now Buick, who's been busy since coming on, hasn't he? Barnes is in the centre square. He'll go to him, I reckon. He's got him now. To Barnesy, to Solomon.
Big numbers back.
Streams through the centre. Oh, well done, Chris Grant. And then Brad Johnson to Libba, to Ramiro. Has to blaze, wants the boundary line. Can he get it from there? He will.
That's a good result.
Look at the inside 50s in the quarter.
Well, they're just conceding at the Doggies. Jason, you called it. They're not even trying to zone off in the midfield. They're just zoning off inside 50.
I have never seen so many players on both sides get possessions running so loose.
Yep.
Paying no regard for your opponent, just playing zone football.
Tactically, this is at a new level tonight.
Well, they're both innovative, aren't they? Wallace and Sheedy over the years. Sheedy for 20 years and Wallace for 4 or 5. Lucas, he's gone. Second time Libba's gone.
Now, why wouldn't you pass it to Buick, who's 20 metres in front of you all on his own?
It's a good question. Libba's kick, carousel of Bartlett, important. Now Johnson's missed one. Coming back. It's a great kick. Liberatore, you take that goal.
You've hit the nail on the head there, Bruce. I mean, this little bloke on screen there, he is just a star. He's the most unlikely star league footballer's seen.
He has had 6 tackles already, and after he dragged down Scott Lucas, I will say this, Scott Lucas did go and apologise to Darren Buick. He realised he'd been selfish. He wanted to take him on and have a bounce and run into the attacking 50, but it's cost his team a goal in the end.
Little Libba, 6 tackles, and that was one of the best.
He is a star, isn't he? I mean, there's not much flash about him, but he's a star just through the way he works at it.
It was a terrific kick by Johnson too. So the Doggies back to a goal. Brown, West have had a good 10 minutes, the Doggies.
That's a good kick.
Hudson. Solomon, Hudson.
Gee, he got up quick after he lost balance, Solomon.
Cox, gone. Just a disappointing result here for the Dogs. They had numbers around it in the end. Long. CD out wide. Johnson's been good. Neat kick. Fletcher, terrific contest. Down low, Lucas. Gee, looked quickly to get the handball away. Johnson, gee, strong. Took Cox on to Long, playing very well. To centre half forward.
Not a good option.
Wine's back there. Dooley spoils him, but Wine pulls a bit of rank and takes the mark.
So the exciting thing for the Dons is that Long is showing body movement of 3 or 4 years ago. He's had 11 possessions so far. He's moving very, very well.
Hahn back to Brown. Buick being a pest in there and doing a good job, and then Brown forced to go to the line. Bartlett and Pryor out of play.
Well, it mightn't look pretty when you see kicks like that, but Terry Wallace won't mind. They're playing to a plan. They're flooding back. If they don't have options, the idea is to hit the boundary and then start again from a boundary throw-in. But surely, I mean, you have to appreciate the aggression, the tackling, the contesting, and all the tactics that are being applied tonight.
Johnson back, and that stat just shows why Terry Wallace doesn't want a shootout. Just the number of times they've kicked 20 goals this year, the Bombers, compared to anyone else. Long through the centre. Well-weighted kick. Lucas couldn't quite. Hahn's been impressive.
It's a good play, the kick.
Floater.
Hudson.
He's done that well. He's done that very well.
He's bought a bit of time and space, Hutto, there, hasn't he? Then kicks to Bartlett.
That's a great kick.
Bartlett, still Bartlett. Good give, Johnson. Johnson, it's a goal. Back. It's a wonderful goal.
It's a draw. Level pegging. Now, Hudson set that up. He was a pure architect there. He just worked out John Barnes is going to try and corral me. I can just keep moving sideways. Watch him here. He looks to give off the handball, says, no, I can buy space here. And he kicks, he dictates to Trent Bartlett where Bartlett is going to run for the ball. He's kicked a space there, and he's done well there. 50-50 whether it's a holding the ball or not.
Tell you what, he's played a fair game, Brad Johnson. He is on fire. Kicked a couple of goals. And he's had
15 posies and 9 in this quarter.
I reckon Chris Grant's hurt himself. He's just pushed himself to full forward down here. He looked at the bench and they just told him to go to full forward. Keep an eye on him.
What's he done, Dipper, do you know? Barnes, what's the injury, Dipper, do you know?
Oh, just a cork leg or something like that. He just grabbed his right leg there.
Back to West. Scores a level. Murphy up and under. Garlic. Gee, Johnson, magnificent. What a quarter of footy this boy's playing.
That was brilliant by Garlic as well. He made out he was going to try and mark the ball, and he just left the passage open for Johnson.
He's certainly giving Ramanauskas the runaround at the moment.
Johnson and Nathan Brown are the two ball carriers that are just splitting it open. Well, as good as a drawn game can be split open against the Dons.
Oh.
That'll get marked.
Well, not paid. And the Bombers come in hard on Hudson.
Did everything right, Hudson. He just let it go. Something could boil over here. Not happy with it, Scotty West.
Oh, gee.
He's almost sucked Johnson in then.
I thought there was going to be a headbutt.
There's going to be a bounce. The ball's bounced in the goal square, so they have to get on with it, the players. Good umpiring. Rodman put down. It's going to be a very hard ball to win. Masiti, well played, Joe. He had to keep a cool head and had to have some courage, and he had all of that. Carousel to Mercury. Now the Bombers on the burst. Ramanauskas, Johnson got him. Forced the error. Brown takes them on to Libba. Has to hack it again. Barnesy sits and waits. Got it. Good kick, Barnes. That's a terrific kick to Blumfield. Looks up. Goes short. Mercury arches his back. Back inside. In trouble. We're inside the last half minute. Ball up. I reckon players tonight are getting the ball and seeing situations they've never seen before in their careers.
Well, unfortunately, the people at home probably can't see when Mark Mercury had the ball there. They're thinking, why doesn't he kick it forward? Why has he handballed it inside? The fact is there's 5 Bulldogs players back there and Matthew Lloyd, and there's just no chance to actually kick it to him, and he was too far out to kick a goal.
Blood rule here. There's a lot of
give us a chance here as the camera pulls away. You'll see
I tell you
as
what,
he runs away. Johnson behind him. They're just zoning off now again.
He's gone with the blood rule, Blumfield, but he copped a spray from Credic and then Romero.
What about Libba's tackles? Have they been hot in this first half?
Oh, haven't they been good? And if it doesn't hold up play, it results in a turnover and something. And this is the one that actually resulted in a goal for his team. He's deceptively quick. Off the mark, he can pick up 20 quickly.
Now, after all this, there's a free kick to the Bulldogs. I tell you what, we're nearly at half-time. Watch what happens at half-time.
Brad Johnson down behind play.
And he's not well.
Nah, Barnesy sort of ran into him at the long...
Oh, Scotty Wine discovered there.
Wine go at it. Big goes.
Giving him a belt.
It's on.
He is having a big go. Moorcroft's come off the bench.
He just wanted to have a go at Libba Moorcroft. He's came in and taken him on.
Well, could you think of two teams better to have a go? I mean,
he can't stand up, Brad Johnson, unfortunately. I think he's been concussed. He had the jelly legs when he got up.
Did you see it, Dipper?
No, I didn't see it, Bruce. No, not at all.
Oh, look at that.
Credic and Lloyd having a go at it.
The doggies have got him rattled here. Have we got a second half coming up?
Gee, I think
he's been split open, Libba. He wants a report. He wants somebody's game put off by them being reported.
Do you reckon they're going to come out firing bullets after half-time?
Oh, this is a game of footy and half.
See, Brad Johnson's really angry down here. The Dodgers are trying to keep him away. He just wants revenge.
Look at Libba going over to the umpires and having a talk to them.
It's still going down here, boys. This is unbelievable.
Tell you what, it would be interesting to see who Brad Johnson ran to right now if they let him run to somebody.
I tell you what, wouldn't there be that one to watch?
I don't think he could run, Bruce.
Let's have a look and see if we can find out what happened to Johnson. Now, there's Johnson.
Cherry Walsh has got his players here, Bruce, on the wing down here. Just have a word to him.
Now, that replay there didn't look malicious.
No.
We didn't see the whole picture.
Well, you haven't seen where Barnes' eyes were looking.
Yeah.
If Barnes has looked at him, so he's meant to get him.
Johnson's gone off, and Terry Wallace has brought everybody together. Might be a bit
he's picked him off. He has picked him off. But he's watched him all the way there.
But still, Dermot, it wasn't...
Where was the ball?
The ball's nowhere, and he's hit him with the point of his shoulder.
Just listen to this crowd for one moment. This is unbelievable stuff. Look at this man.
Well, I'm telling you, Steve Alessio has been asked to do a job tonight. I reckon he better get himself in form.
One of the trainers just hosed that bloke down with water as he went by. The bloke that was giving him a spray over the top.
This is perhaps
I
the
want
best
that
game
bloke
of
up here at half-time.
No, thank you, Bruce.
Oh, how hot is it?
It's
water on his
half-time
shoulder.
here, and it's all square. Let's see. No, goes for the ball and wins it down, so scores level to start what should be a magnificent second half of footy. The Bombers are being challenged hard here by a team that won a spot in the finals. Johnson's kicked the centre-half
Good
ball.
hands.
Moorcroft got it from Blundfield and blazed it.
Oh, you should have seen Steve Crediel turn around and tell him all about it after that kick.
There it is, big
He
smile
gave
face.
him a fearful spray.
Mark Johnson's gone into the centre, and we've had Ramanascus go to full back on Simon
See if
Garlick.
we can catch Steve Crediel here. He turns around and look at him get into him.
Well, you don't lose your memory in 20 minutes at half-time, do you?
Oh,
Oh,
danger.
boy. Now, Moorcroft might look for Crediel here after he kicks a goal. He's in the pocket. Gee, this would be a terrific goal, personally, for Moorcroft.
Yeah,
And
he's
do
going to
you
make
think
it
he would
count.
run straight over to Steve Crediel if he kicks this goal?
I'd imagine he'll be in that direction, but he's just got to keep his head here.
Yep. Make it count. Now,
He's missed
does
it.
that hurt him more in the opposite direction of the mental game?
I reckon the first couple of goals are very important here and could set up a win for either side. And they've had a couple of opportunities. Moorcroft with both of them, and he's missed.
And Cox is going to reload after a duff up. Let's
Straight
have a
back
look.
on the bike.
Johnson just run the boundary here, boys. He's dying to get on, and he won't be far away.
The Doggies have got numbers around Wind out on the half-back flank, the right-hand side of screen.
So
And
Cox
the three goes.
bombs and winds the target. Alessio got underneath it. Good tackle again by Libba. Back turn by Solomon. West in close was good. Bartlett front spot. He's competed well, Bartlett. Not big posies, but has competed well.
Force Fletcher to go
centre-half
back on him, yeah.
Hudson, that's a good kick. Nilly, bit stiff, pushing forward. Solomon belts to the pocket. The race is on. Pryor's legs were quick. Oh, good
Great
kick.
kick.
That's terrific play by Pryor. Came in for her tonight. Long had a wonderful first half. Moorcroft running for him, Wellman.
And that's a good kick too.
And Lloyd and Alessio sort of got him on another's road. Mercury, 3 to beat. Takes Wine down. Free kick to Wine.
Well, that should have been Matthew Lloyd lining up from 45 metres out directly in front. And that was just a lack of torque.
That's what the pressure so far in the game has done to them. A bit of uncertainty.
Poor kick by Contessa, and Fletcher just pings that off. Been a good player, Fletcher. To Lloyd, up the ground. Still Lloyd, he's got Moorcroft in the pocket. Decides to go right to the goals. Wine should take it. Got it. It's a waste by Lloyd in the end, wasn't it? But I guess tonight, because of the tactics, you are going to waste a few. You can't help it. Grant to Croft.
He's got Cox on this side of the ground if he can get there, maybe with Brown short.
Brown was a terrific player in the first half. Murphy to Brown.
You can still get him.
To Libba.
Oh, you want it back off him.
To
That's
half a good kick to Smith, who we've seen very little of tonight. Forced underneath it by Heffernan. Back to Smith, not a bad option. Right to the goals. Well done, Ramanascus.
Bit of trust,
Carousella out this way on his own.
bit of trust shown in Ramanascus, isn't it? I mean, to put the kick back at full back.
Carousella to Moorcroft. Pumping those legs. He's been busy in the second half. Wasted a couple. To the pocket. Neat kick. Mercury. Just outside his range.
Looking for Mercedes.
Grant. Rioli. Handball out wide. Mercedes. Crediuk was crunched. Ball comes back out. Still to be won. Held up. Ball up.
He's done well there, Smoking Joe.
Now the Bombers get a wall here about 20 metres away, don't they?
Well, this is where Nathan Brown is so valuable all of this evening, because he's got these possessions here and set it up with handball instead of just blazing away by foot to the wall.
Wine tries to lay it down. Rioli tried to snare a goal, and then Crediuk right to the line and finds it. So Hardwick's out of business for the second half. Lucas is on that interchange. Dipper, is Lucas injured or is he fit?
I'll just check with you, mate.
We had Stephen Silvani who put him out of business last week, so he might be just having a slight downturn in form.
We had him coloured in, like we had Hardwick. Contessa's kick, back towards Carousella. The Carousella should use it. Goes wide. Got Johnson. This is Jason Johnson.
He could get it here, Barnesy.
Carousella's in the same spot. Good kick. With the hook, though, I think meant for distance and it's a behind.
Well, that's where they make them have all their shots from, because they're blocking it up inside 50 and they're saying if you can kick it from just outside 50, we'll concede.
Bulldogs have beaten Carlton twice this year. They've beaten the Kangaroos and Melbourne, the only times they've played them. They've got some big scalps this year.
First 5 minutes has been all the Bombers here, but they haven't done anything on the scoreboard.
Cox to himself, and then outside the 50. Grant's his target. Can he get into it? Wellman did well to hold him back. Johnson, Mark Johnson, Grant was terrific. The Bulldogs' tackling has been superb.
I've just checked with the Essendon bench. Lucas is okay, so we should see him back on soon, boys.
Thanks, Dipper. It's almost the calm before the storm at the moment.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I feel like something's brewing. Rioli to Mark Johnson. Wind. Well done.
Nathan Brown's on.
He's got him too, Dermot. He's been their link back there, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he's just clever. Let's see, he just draws an opponent there. Gives a bit of space. He can go inboard if he wants.
To Cox. Now, Cox can really go here. Does accelerate away.
Go for Rowan.
Good kick. He's got him.
Hutto sneaked in.
I think he was looking at Rowan Smith with the longer kick, but it fell short, and Paul Hudson read it best.
Now, this is out of Hutto's range.
He'll give it a run. I reckon he'll go close from there.
And Lucas preparing to come back on.
He kicked that match-winning goal last week. He's been one of the great goal kickers.
Yep. Close.
I'll tell you what. He's going.
Oof. Gee, had the journey.
Alessio coming off, boys. Lucas going on.
So Lucas for Alessio. David Parkin will be sitting here saying, hang on, this is what happened 2 weeks ago at Optus, you know, this sort of game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Really choked them, haven't they?
Carousella to Long. Good. Here's a chance to Blumfield. Stretched him, and he's in range. The fact the ball went over his head actually has worked for him here, hasn't it? It's given him the extra 5 metres.
Just pulled him closer to goal.
Yeah, this is one of the closer in to goal shots that we've seen. Most of them have been from right on 50. This will be a yard inside 50. Someone has to convert a couple of these.
Brad Johnson coming on. Listen to the cheers, boys.
It just has a Michael Long play to go to. Johnson on the ground. So Blumfield's kick. He's just given it a hook. So we've had some pop shots from both ends, haven't we?
Well, it just shows you how low the percentage is in this game. Once you are less than, well, you only need to be 5 centimetres outside the 50 when you take your set shot. The percentage is markedly lower. And blokes like Nathan Buckley and Anthony Rocker of this league, they are invaluable when they can get the ball out there. Dustin Fletcher.
Most players from that range tend to kick around the corner a little bit. They kick on an arc to get the extra foot swing.
That's a good kick.
Found Cox. Has been good, Cox.
15 possessions. Goes short to Brown again. He's the architect here. He just sets it up by foot.
Murphy.
Over it.
Wellman to Moorcroft. Contessa with him. Still Moorcroft with Contessa. Good effort by Brown to get back and help out. Gets it to Crediuk. Crediuk forced to kick, but okay to Grant. They're hanging on well here, the Bulldogs, aren't they?
They're running it out pretty well. They're just breaking down on this secondary link up here.
Murphy's wobbling kick, Bartlett and Fletcher. Fletcher probably did enough to have the mark. Plays on to Pryor. Pryor at half-back. Not a good kick. Grant, well done. Inboard. Cox again, providing a link to Libber. He's got Ramiro, didn't see him. And then a poor kick. Hudson against Barnes. Oh, gee, that was...
He's given him one there.
He sure did. Long's away.
Oh, look at him go.
And then touched. Contessa.
Oh, good vision.
A terrific vision. He's got 3 out here. They'll find it in there and he'll get a handle on it, Curly. Now, Johnson's short.
He's only got little men ahead.
Good kick. Got Ramiro. He's off. Barnsley's got him. Jose gets away, then forced to kick in a hurry. He gets some distance to centre half forward. Garlick was waiting for it. Hudson down to Smith. Quick kick. Gets it back. Garlick. Oh, good play, Ramanauskas. He's stiff, Ramanauskas. He is stiff.
He was stiff. He did just about everything right, and I reckon the correct decision is play on from there.
I thought he was terrific there, Ramanauskas.
Yep. We're looking at a player who's going to play 200 games of league footy when you mention Ramanauskas' name.
Gee.
Yeah, it was the takedown after the ball. The spoil was fine. He's done everything right.
They haven't been in front for a while, the Doggies. They were early, and then the Bombers got the lead early in the second quarter. This to put the Dogs in front. Remember, Garlick was the man who got 6 against Carlton.
Clever.
They've got it. Well, he's got 2. He's scrapped 2 tonight, hasn't he?
It's official battle stations now, isn't it? I mean, this one will go. This will go right to the wire, this game.
Gee, had him cold, Johnny Barnes.
Yeah.
That was a poor tackle, wasn't it?
Gee, didn't Hutto give Barnesy one a minute ago?
Well done by Hutto. Little flick on. Bad luck.
Dogs in front in this mighty scrap at Colonial. Barnes gets over the top. Libba, Ramiro, they have been outstanding in this game. As you would expect, Wellman was good. Heffernan. Not one player on either team has taken a backward step. Johnson. Libba couldn't get him. Johnson, a second bounce. Gets to 52. The hook back to Lucas. He's outnumbered. Credible. Brown takes a beauty. She's playing the game, Dermot.
He's outnumbered 4-1, Scott Lucas.
He's just thinking his way through everything, though, Nathan Brown. Not only is he getting the ball, plenty of it. I mean, he really hasn't got an opponent when he pushes back. He's had 24 possessions. He's just using it brilliantly each time.
There's talk in the corridors, boy, that this boy's going to play in the All-Australian side. He has a superb year.
Well, I reckon he's a chance to get in there tonight.
Oh,
Gee, Bartlett again with Wellman and Rioli ball in.
Dermot, you said he's thinking his way through it well. The players that aren't thinking well at the moment are the Bombers as they're coming forward.
Yeah.
They look up and they're thinking, Scott Lucas, key forward, I'll kick to him. What they have to do is look at where the loose men from the Bulldogs are and not kick to a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 situation.
Well, there you go on the replay. Jono, big open hander on the back of the head. They'll have a look at that one too. So there's a square up.
Brown round the body. Gee, Solomon stiff. Hudson read it well.
Oh,
Can he
Bartlett
draw
go with
someone to him? Bartlett didn't quite get there. He's got Ramiro. He found him. Ramiro's going to Bartlett. He's in the pocket. He's on the stretch. He can kick a goal. And he does.
Big fella.
What a goal. Magnificent team football.
Gee, are we going to see them get beaten for the first time this year? The Bulldogs have done everything right. They've stuck to their game plan. They've done it well. And I'll tell you what, when Trent Bartlett got the ball, I thought Michael Long will catch him. But Longy's done a lot of good work the other way, yes. But have a look at Michael Long here. He was tired from work that he's done in the last couple of minutes. And he was going half pace. Look at that.
Yep. He is quick, Bartlett, for a big man.
Yep.
He travels all right. I mean, not off the mark. And doesn't he like it?
Probably wasn't the ideal play to have the ball in his hands running into goal, was he? But he did it very well.
How big is the next goal?
Oh, the Doggies are just thinking their way. I reckon they're playing above themselves just in the way they're utilising the ball or using it every time they have it.
They lead by about the margin that Carlton led by last week, remember, and they couldn't get that extra one. Can the Doggies get it? Mercury switches it. They've done it all night. To Long. Can he conjure something here, this magician? Fletcher's the target.
That
Got
was a
him.
good kick.
50. Well, it's not 50. He's unlucky.
Oh, he recognised the two credible. He looked up and thought, gee, I've got to be lucky here not to give away the 50.
Again, the good kick coming in that just allowed Dustin Fletcher to have the run and jump.
It's pretty silly stuff by
Now,
Credible, isn't it?
yeah, that is 50, but the fact that it hasn't been paid at least squares up to the one that he was penalised for earlier in the game when it wasn't a 50.
Yeah, this is in range for this big fella.
Crucial kick.
He's kicked 2 tonight. It's coming back. It's coming back. He's kicked 3.
What a game.
And again, it was Long's vision. He went for the right target, didn't he?
He ran into the wall early, didn't he?
He's done it a couple of times, Michael Long. He's just waited to kick well, kicked it high enough so that Dustin Fletcher can jump on the loose player in front of him, but he hasn't had to stop. He can run and jump with free abandon, if you like. Well weighted and a good height kick.
Well, Cox has just got to get closer. The zone's there, but Cox has just got to get to him, and as he approaches the ball, he's just got to put a bit of body on him, make him not want to jump.
What's interesting is Fletcher's matching Chris Grant up here. There's the other end. Fletcher wants Chris Grant, and Chris Grant wants Cox to get to Fletcher. So it's a toing and froing.
There's a lot of chess out there.
Mercedes to Mercury, and again to Long.
Barnes is broken.
And he uses him. Grant to come at him hard. So Barnesy, a couple of kicks from goal. Fletcher wants the long bomb.
Well, Lloyd's on. Lloyd in the pocket.
Having Chris Grant on the mark's a disadvantage for the Bulldogs too. They'd want him back here. Mercury, got it.
32 players inside 50 then on the kick, or within 5 metres of it.
Solomon took one last week.
He's got to go back.
Yep.
I would say he virtually has no chance of kicking from where he is. I think he's too far out to kick a banana over that distance, and there's virtually no angle.
Solomon goes short.
He's going to have to try and invent something.
And he's forever the team man, Mercury, isn't he?
I just don't think there'll be an angle between the posts. And if anything tonight, the kicks have been travelling right to left from that pocket.
Yeah.
So it'd be virtually impossible.
Have a look at the amount of doggies in screen there. They're just not going to allow
on the
a
lead.
chip.
Oh, he's looking for something. Barnes trying to fill a spot.
That wouldn't have been 10 if he had a pass.
Still might go to Lucas.
He's come back.
Well,
Buick.
Good hands with Boris.
Michael Long just telling all the players to kick it. Have a shot for goal.
Gee, aren't the crowd into this match?
Well, Barnesy's running the big semicircle round to the goal line to drag Wind away, or at least take a big pluck over the top. 16 Bulldogs inside defensive 50 here.
It's a good kick by Buick for distance, but he's missed for accuracy. So again, that low percentage, 4th miss for the Bombers in the term.
I've never seen so many shots from the 50-metre arc. It's incredible. It's a different game tonight, totally different contest.
Well, you've got 18 on the field and 16 were inside defensive 50. I've never seen that before.
So Cox to himself, and then gets it out wide. Grant, oh, that is a good mark. That is a huge effort by Grant. Taken 10 marks tonight.
Bartlett leading inboard, and that's the wrong place you want to go. It turns over, the Bombers run it back pretty quick.
Short to Wind, okay. Centre wing.
He's actually kicking a few kicks tonight.
Not that time, Dipper. As Johnson goes wide for Ramiro. Well done. But only as far as Solomon. That kick coming from Grant. Now Grant's in the forward half, so this will suit the Bombers. They've got him out of the back half for a moment. And now Fletcher gets it from Mark Johnson.
He can go over the top.
To Pryor. To Moorcroft. A chance. Inside. Long. Still Long. He's got Buick short. He's got him.
He unfolded that very well, didn't he?
Boris to kick the goal, you'd reckon, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the way they've been able to break up that flooding all the time, when they can run the ball, draw a player and handball over the top.
He's only kicked 1 goal in his last 5 matches, Buick. He's had a different role, of course, this year.
He's got it.
Beautiful kick. Well, it's his trademark, isn't it?
Yep. They've answered again. Bruce, we questioned if the Bulldogs kicked the next goal when they had a 10-point lead a few moments ago, what that would do to the context of the match, and now the Bombers have kicked the last couple. They've answered, they've lifted, and they've hit the front again.
I'll tell you what the stats show about Boris Buick. He's had 6 possessions, and 5 of them have come from marks. So it just shows that he's not running all that hard. He's just running into the right space, and they're spotting it up and chipping it to him.
Have a look at the shot from the gantry. That's the forward line for the Bombers.
How could you pick someone out in that?
9-7 to 9-4, so the Bombers are back in front. Wine, Ramiro couldn't take hold. Johnson crunches him. Ramiro, West off the ground. Good play. Hudson at the back. Well done. Garlick, can he get the little give to Hudson? Can't. Smith's had a pretty dirty night. Gee, West was crunched. Back to Libber. Good vision to Bartlett. Still with Bartlett. To Smith. Has to give it away. He's gone. Dropped it in the end. Terrific tackle. It's almost as if Smith's not up to the pace of the game at the moment.
He's just had one of those nights. He spent a bit of time on the bench. He didn't get into the game early. And he's one that's really suffered from playing forward, not being able to find space to get on the end of the chain of passes.
I am being ultra critical. I mean, the tackle was so quick on him, wasn't it?
And Trent Bartlett, he'll learn from that one. That was just a snap kick required to go forward.
Barnes runs hard. Bartlett caught one high. Heffernan hooks it. Buick running hard. Hudson to try and get there with him. Good take by Buick. Hudson did pretty well. It has been an amazing game of football. We talk about the evolution of the game. It's almost a landmark match, isn't it?
It is. Yep, that is very, very aptly put.
Just outside the 50.
Seen it played in a new vein, aren't we?
Barnes, well done. Mark Johnson. Rioli, clever. Jason Johnson to Smokin' Joe. Mercedes. Fletcher's the go-to man. And front spot was Cox.
See, what Hahn did then was very clever on Fletcher. Just touched him with body, and then that takes away his jump. So the man in front, Cox, is going to take the mark. Just need to have somebody quick enough, even if they can't jump with him, just close enough and quick enough to touch him.
Wine, Long putting some pressure on Grant. Grant's kick to Croft.
Hudson's got a lead from down deep.
Goes now Dermott, and he goes wide to him. Good kick, well spotted Dermott.
He was sitting off him, Solomon, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's sitting corridor side. Bad kick.
Wanted Smith, couldn't get it that far, and Pryor chipped in to Barnes. He's going to get booed every time he gets it tonight, Barnesy.
They've got the numbers out on this wing, Bruce.
So Ramanauskas has got Jason Johnson. He can go longer to Lucas. Decides to go the short way to Wellman. Now the Dogs get back. Ramanauskas. Neat kick. I think he's found his target. McCurry was the shield, wasn't he, for Long?
Yeah, he did it
Lucas
well.
Lucas by himself.
I think Fletcher again's the target. He's got it. He dropped it. He dropped it. And Brown wants the boundary line and unfortunately gets it on the fall.
Blemish number one.
I tell you what, Michael Long and Dustin Fletcher almost have a connection going, don't they?
And Long was good with Lloyd early too.
Something like you and me.
Oh, had to get himself into it, didn't he?
We're not talking about blokes going to the bar for a shout, Dipper.
So Johnson in the pocket. This is Jason Johnson. Lloyd goes short, too high. Croft,
Poor kick. He had him on, he was on.
Good kick this one. Garlick will hold his breath. Rioli did very well. Garlick just can't fall over. Buick to Murphy. Good stuff by the kid. Still Murphy. Ramanauskas, a couple of teenagers together. Rioli.
Good acceleration.
Lovely kick to Long. Maybe Lucas could have left it for Lucas. Long's on. Long kick. Good kick to full forward. And Finn Johnson.
Oh, he's given it to him.
He gave him one too.
And Johnson, clever play by Johnson. Recognises that he's got the ball there. And he's not giving it up for anything.
Yep. The one time that you not remonstrate with an opposition player is when your team is shooting for goal, because you cannot cost your team a goal.
No. That is very well done by Mark Johnson.
I think he had a few words too. He might have just said something along the lines of "you weak dog," but maybe a little bit more colourful than that. It's a good strong mark, and there you see it. He cops the left arm to the head. He only snuck the kick in.
Kicked the last three, the Bombers.
Took a risk on the goal too, even though it was a certainty. Oh, well done.
He's been good again tonight, Jason Johnson.
He certainly has. He
Picking
started
up from that last quarter last week.
grand, terrific mark.
The Doggies can start getting a bit more. They haven't had a centre bounce takeaway after a bounce for a while.
To Brown. And Cox wide. He's going to go there now. Got him. They've just racked up the possessions, haven't they?
They've got a lot of they haven't got the ball forward this quarter. 16-6 in Essendon's favour going inside their attacking 50.
Murphy. It's his third game. Bartlett and Wellman. Good contest. West hooked off on a free kick.
Oh, they can hurt right about there. This is where Rowan Smith just has to give a good lead.
Hudson's gone.
He's too
Trouble
close
is
to it
no one
now.
else. There's only Hudson and Smith and nobody else.
Well, he's one out, Hudson, if they can get it to him. Barnes is within striking distance.
So Smith very short.
So they're not in a hurry to get back.
That's nothing.
That is terrible.
That is nothing.
He's out of sorts, Smith, isn't he?
Yep. They will take him off of that.
There was no one within 30 metres of that kick.
And Lucas, good kick to Lloyd. That is a wonderful kick. Buick running hard, Long running hard. Lloyd's changes his mind. He's got a couple in the centre. It's a long way out. Look at those eyes looking everywhere.
He's got to go short now.
Darting around his foot.
Has to go short.
Barnes. Short again.
You've got to break it up with short passes and run the ball.
Lucas.
Trying to milk a 50, I think, Scotty Lucas.
Don't know why he called that one back.
No good bombing it long. You've either got to square it up short and hope for something to open up, or try and pinpoint a lead.
You just can't even visualise anything unfolding.
For Fletcher's the target. He won't go. Oh!
Unfield!
Takes a magnificent mark.
Wasn't he perfectly balanced as he perched on top of that pack? And I think he may have ridden Johnny Barnes for that one.
Had a little bit of the old Gary Ablett in that one because he landed on the feet.
I think he might have used Johnny Barnes. Let's see where he goes.
Mitchell Hahn.
Oh, look at the balance in the middle of it. Lands on his feet. That's beautiful.
Can he top it off with a great goal?
Well done, son.
So they've kicked the last 4.
The stops have dug in on him too and gave him the security on the back, and he got the climb up from that.
Just quite often when you see a player fly, they're struggling for awareness of where the ground is. Their balance isn't quite what it should be, but he was just perfect.
Just see McCurry watching that ball. He didn't stand side onto it. He actually leant back and watched the ball come over his head as he roves it. Get the rear angle again at some stage. You'll see that is amazing.
Bruce, very interesting statistic. Inside their attack at 50, the Bombers, no marks in the first quarter, 5 marks in the second quarter, 10 marks in this third quarter.
So it's starting to happen for them, isn't it?
They're working this flooding down. They're breaking it down.
They're winning the centre square. Barnes clever, didn't actually take it, couldn't force the tackle. Solomon to Moorcroft. Next goal would really hurt the Bulldogs. The Bombers have kicked the last 4. Moorcroft to Lloyd. Well done, Croft. Quick kick away was important by Curley. To Crediuk. Looks up. Oh, short. Contessa in trouble. Nearly gets there. Johnson goes towards the line. West, who looks pretty tired, actually. Boundary throw-in.
He's had the steam taken out of him tonight.
They've been good in the tight ones, the Bulldogs, this year. 3 games are won by under a goal. 4 games won to 10 points. They'd love it to be that close with about 10 minutes to go, wouldn't they?
They know how to close the game out, and if they get their nose in front, they then just maintain possession.
Wine to West.
Oh,
well done, Wine. Then just dropped it. In to help was Libber. They've got to start winning the scraps again, the Dogs.
Yep. Well, Winder's going to win this one. He's only got Scotty Lucas, and he'll just fall all over him and smother him. And Libber and Romero are his 2 target boys here.
Very open forward line for the Bulldogs. They've got 3 in their attack and 15 just the 3 Bomber defenders. All the other Bombers have decided to man up on the loose Bulldog players.
So as you said, Winder laid down, Moorcroft. And
that's a good quarter for the Bombers.
So the Bombers had the best of it. The Doggies got the first 2 goals of the term, and the Bombers got the last 4.
They really answered after being challenged. They had a question asked of them, and they answered it very, very well.
Man forward line for the Doggies.
To the Bombers make it 21 in a row. They lead 11-7 to 9-4.
Solomon's taken a swing at him down there against Trent Bartlett. He's clipped him 100 metres away from it. Did you see that?
I didn't, I must say.
They were just jostling for position, don't it?
Croft.
Oh, mate, he won't go, don't worry about that. But he's
at half
giving him
back.
a clip.
Now here's Bartlett, Solomon, and takes a good mark. He's a real aerialist, isn't he, after that mark last week?
There's a lot to like about him. He's a good boy.
Short to Wellman. Gary Lyon compared him with Archer, didn't he, earlier in the year as a youngster? And then Mark Johnson.
That's a good kick.
Terrific contest up forward. Contessa trying to get through. Crediuk under the palm, gets to the line and finds it. Gee, the game has changed when Fletcher playing forward, being picked up by Chris Grant. Someone said to you a couple of years ago that would happen.
You'd be asking them what they were on.
They can come from behind. They've had some great escapes, the Bulldogs, this year. Remember the Saints here? Yeah. The Demons, the Kangaroos, and that huge game on the Sunday? Well, they need another great escape tonight. They're not that far down, that's for sure. One early goal makes a huge difference to this match.
Yeah, look, I reckon the Essendon team have used up less energy than them because they're probably just better skilled by foot. And the Doggies do run it an awful lot, and they're probably exhausted already.
Grant read it well. He's had a big match. Solomon, not quite. Hudson, who's competed very well. Back to Hutto. Oh, kept it in low. Masidi clever to Moorcroft. Play on call, didn't go far enough. Clever kick again. Wide.
No.
Jason Johnson. The target to send it to full forward. Blomfield. Oh, got it. He actually lost his balance. Got disorientated for a moment and then found it.
The one thing he did do, and the one thing the two Bulldogs opponents didn't do, was track the ball. They didn't keep their eyes on the ball. His immediate opponent's looking for him, you could see there, and then Cox was just coming across the front at the last minute, looked for the ball but couldn't find it.
Well, he's taken two superb marks in the second half. Very different marks, both of them glorious, really. And if he kicks a goal here, what an impact he's had on this match.
Will this be the biggest margin if he kicks this, Bruce?
It will, and he has.
Each time this season, on the rare occasions that the Dons get challenged, the opposition finds some way of shoring up the Bombers' stars. Justin Blumfield is the bloke who emerges from that second-tier players and comes up with the goods.
This all came from the decision of Paul Hudson to keep the ball in play.
Yeah.
Probably, in hindsight, not the right thing to do, but I guess he was trying to make something happen.
They've spent a lot of petrol getting here, the Bulldogs, and they're 3.5 behind.
I think he knows how important that goal was then, Terry Wallace.
So the Bombers have kicked the last 5 in the match. They've been winning the centre squares. Libba.
He's been great tonight, Libba.
Gee, West and Curly. West wanted it. Well done to Libba. And then Libba loads it up for him to fall forward. Front spot, Brown. Bartlett, gee, good takedown low. The handball, had a bit on him. Garlick, clever. They need a goal. They've got to get one. Crunched, run down by Buick. It gives him a mouthful. And then Heffernan out wide to Barnes. There is no love between these two teams, that is for certain. Barnes to Lucas. Got him. Get the next goal and there will be 21 wins in a row. They've got to stop them now, the Dogs. Lucas drawing to Carosella to Lucas. Funny old kick, and Grant in the front spot on Fletcher takes the mark. Where do you get to the point where you've got to push Chris Grant forward? Do you ever get to that point in this last quarter?
Well, they've gone with Nathan Brown. He's been the playmaker off half-back. He's in the goal square for the Doggies now and has kicked big bags this year, so they've gone with the faith in him now.
Kick by Ramiro. Gee, Bartlett.
Isn't he handling the ball well?
Well, the umpire's saying it went out.
No, he didn't have control of it.
Second grab over the line.
Gee, it was a great effort there to take it in the left hand.
Doesn't have much of the ball, Bartlett, but he's been a good contributor, hasn't he? Barnes and Bartlett.
10 possessions for Bartlett tonight.
Can the Dogs find a way? Libba, back to Barnes, back to Boris. This is Buick. Left foot looks good off the boot to Moorcroft.
Oh, he's got Fletcher. Got Fletcher on.
He's on now. He's in the pocket. He hasn't seen him. Hooks it back for Lloyd. Got him.
Good kick. Gee, had Dustin Fletcher in the pocket, but in the end, it's probably an even better option. Matthew Lloyd, 45 metres out, directly in front.
Yeah, his opponent, Croft, watched Fletcher as well. I reckon he heard you, Jason. And he fell off the back of Lloydie. Rowan Smith coming off. Dooley on.
Hasn't been a great night for him, just 4 touches.
Yep, and that's what let Crofty off the back of him, gave him space.
The way this match has been played, if Matthew Lloyd can finish with 4 goals, you'd say it's a very, very good return. Yeah. He's kicked 2, he's lining up for his 3rd.
He's worked
3 or
hard
4
for
goals. Oh, hasn't he? Beautiful shot of it.
Let's see. We'll kick just inside the 50, about 48.
Oh. That could have been the nail in the coffin if he kicked that.
Gee, it's a big lead, but they're not dead yet. 12-8, 9-4, but they haven't scored for a fair while, the Dogs. It's been a long time since they've actually scored.
We do know that when they do score, though, they can get a run on. They do get their emotions running very high, and they can roll over the top of sides.
Well, the Bombers are going to score at least 1 more goal, you would think, between now and the end of the quarter. So the Doggies have to kick a minimum of 5 goals. They've got 9 to this point in the match.
Curly to Cox.
Excellent kick.
Well, stay in the way of it, son.
Ramiro. Johnson, who was the best man on the ground in the first half, was flattened on half-time, which created the big blue. He's gone wide, only a 50-50. They've got the numbers in the end. Buick was probably held on to. He's letting the umpire know. Back to Garlick.
He's got nothing ahead. He'll have to hold on to it.
Did well to get around Pryor and then waits the kick. Cox has done a terrific job to run down there and thump it away. Back to Heffernan, who's played as a bit of a sweeper in his first game back for a number of weeks. Goes in short and gets it to Lucas. He missed the last 4, Heffernan. Lucas to long, Freddie Hook. Well read though by Moorcroft on the up. Fry couldn't take it, but he gets the tackle. Gee, Curley threw that, didn't he? Threw it away and wasn't pinged.
Chris Grant starting the back line this quarter, now playing up forward. If we've got any chance of winning this game, he's got to get some marks.
Yep, Dean Solomon picked him up.
Have a look at the Bombers when they've been under the pump this year. They have destroyed teams when they've looked like being beaten. They have put them away.
They've been able to find something when they need to.
That second gear you talked about last week, Jason, at three-quarter time.
We just don't know at this stage what sort of gearbox the Bombers have, because they've always found an extra one.
Well, you reckon the Dogs have had about as good a shot as you could possibly have at them tonight, wouldn't you?
Superb.
12-8-9-4. Barnes and Wine. Romero to Garlic. Just went down, but held his composure to Hudson. Every time they go forward, they've got to kick a goal, basically, don't they? When they go forward with any purpose. Brown out of the goal square now. Short. Rioli's got it. But Grant has gone forward for that play.
Well, Brown had 20 possessions in the first half and only 9 in the second. They've just run out of petrol tickets already. This ball get turned around and taken back.
She's in trouble, Rioli, I think.
Yeah.
Is it his collarbone, do you think?
Romero, 22, and then 6 in
Yeah, I
this
reckon his
half.
collarbone again, boys. He's really sore.
He's in trouble, Dipper. Heffernan. Remember, Hardwick looks to have a, well, it's maybe not a hugely serious injury, but a substantial one. He's off. Hurd pulled out before the game. Wellman, Lucas. Well, that's not the first time Libbert's got him tonight.
He has had a dirty night, Scotty Lucas.
Hudson to Libber. Short. Gee, it just got past long, didn't it?
You've got to hold it up.
To
Go
Brown,
to Johnson.
to Cox, to Brown. Now, I think Johnson's his chance. Johnson's going to be one out against Fletcher. Could Grant make a contest? Fletcher backhanded it to Beck. I was going to say to Becker. It's actually Boris, isn't it? Bartlett crunched by Wellman.
He spent Bartlett.
To Buick. Good kick. Carousella's just come off the interchange. To Moorcroft. Moorcroft straightens it up. Lloyd's a chance. Numbers beat him in the end. Curley was good there. Used his body really well. The kick finds Dooley, should go over the top.
I reckon Bartlett will come off because he's dead tired, and I think you'd have to go with Curley up there.
Gee, I'm glad that got there. It didn't spin right, but if it didn't, they were in all sorts of
chance here. West to Ramiro. Now Hudson's on. The kick wide to Hudson. Got him. He's 60 out though. That's the problem. Goes to the pocket to Brad Johnson. Boundary throwing. Well, must goal from this forward foray. Must get a goal here. So Rioli in some trouble here.
That's a shame. That is a real shame. He knew he was going to get hit, protected himself, but that is the shoulder he's had trouble with.
I thought, if anything, that might have hurt Grant.
Grant did well, and then might have done it. It's close. Oh, has he got it?
Yep.
Well, that is a team-lifting goal.
Probably the worst thing from an Essendon point of view is that was a very easy goal. He just pushed his opponent out of the way and had a standing shot under no pressure. Very clever play from Chris Grant, but poor defence from the Bombers. John Barnes, he was too easily pushed away, and no one around the contest was quick enough to come in. They all stood and watched.
Garlic off, Hudson off. Bartlett stays on.
Still a chance. Grant, terrific lone hand there. He has been outstanding. Masiti banging back, numbers everywhere. The Bombers, the Bulldogs, he's in trouble. Johnson just got his kick away. Just wonder how switched on Brad Johnson is after the big bump. Dipper told us what happened to him at half-time with the lights off and all of that. He's just second-guessed a couple of times in this.
Well, he's had 16 possessions to half-time. He's had 3 since, that being his 4th, that half. Mongrel little chip to the boundary.
Barnes front spot, wide at the back. Cox playing a good game. And out of play again.
Well, the most important thing is for the Bulldogs that Grant goal has got them back into the game. I mean, they're within 3 kicks.
It's Cox, Michael Long has taken the ball inside 50 on 11 occasions tonight.
Fantastic, hasn't he?
Barnes hooks back. Well done, Libber. Read it brilliantly. He's been getting the ball onto his boot in such a hurry. Mercury couldn't take the mark. Grant. West. Grant's beating Fletcher in the one-on-ones. Well done, Mercury. Grant and Fletcher. Grant gets it forward. Carosella, Ramiro, Liber. He's got a free kick. Well, he should have got a free kick. Down low, Jason Johnson on the burst. Goes with a long one to full forward.
Poor kick.
Chikatessa's made a bit of a mess of it. They'll be all right. Hand to Croft. To Dooley, probably not the right player. Goes back, Cox. Clever kick under pressure. Mercury, well done, well done. Gets it back to Moorcroft, bangs it forward. Cox will mark it. They wasted it in the end.
He read that well, Cox, didn't he?
Probably as good a game as he's played, Dermot.
Yep.
It's his 12th mark.
Second mark, Contessa's dropped in 2 minutes.
Oh, he's hurt himself, Lloydie. He's put out a finger here.
Croft kicks away here. Lloyd's in trouble. Keep an eye on him, Dipper. Lucas goes to ground. Liber to West, who's got some space here. The kick to Dooley. Now Hudson's the man. Dooley to Hudson. He's got Hudson outside. Doesn't go for him. Mongrels it to full forward. And a wonderful mark by Bartlett.
Well, they don't die, do they?
You
They
can't
just will
break
not
their
die.
spirit, that is
No.
for sure.
They can still win this. They are right in this, as we see Matthew Lloyd probably just having a dislocated finger put back into place.
That was a gutsy mark.
Yep.
It just, the ball was on the right side of him for the one-on-one
There's
contact.
blood
Blood,
well.
so he can't take the kick.
Yeah. He fell on his head in the end, and he knew he was going to wear it, but he's worn it for a This will be half to the Bulldogs' advantage here. He is spent out of petrol tickets here, Bartlett. That's why he's in the square.
Gee, that's a good mark.
Super grab.
Now let's see what happened to Lloyd.
Just
In
had
the
his finger
contest,
replaced.
there.
Yeah, you saw Oregon on the right hand as he went in. You can just see a dislocated finger.
He's poked it in there, hasn't he? Colin Hook, who's just come fresh onto the ground, gets a goal in a big match.
Their lowest winning margin this year is 13 points, the Bombers, against Melbourne and Sydney. Colin Hook kicks this, he puts them within 10, getting deepish into the last quarter.
I don't think they're worried about the margin, Bruce. They're worried about the result, the Bombers.
They sure are. They've won 20 straight. No team has ever won 21 in the minor round. Colin Hook kicks the goal.
Well, if Jose Romero and Tony Liberatore have ever earned their money in and underneath the hands of Scotty Wine, it's coming up right now. Libber's on 18 possessions and Jose on 30. And Westy hasn't been any slouch today. He's been the lightweight in terms of possessions in there. He's had 21. It's their best four. It's their best four to take the ball away, and they're going up against Mercedes, the two Johnsons, and Barnsley.
They have got the junkyard dogs in the middle right now, haven't they, the Bulldogs?
Oh, they got their best four they can possibly put in there, the doggies.
West, Liberatore, Wine and Ramiro. Can they win it? Terrific contest. Curley gets it back. Ramiro. Solomon. West, rather, Carousel. Getting it back was Solomon. Getting it back was West. Gee, there's courage here from both teams. Carousel belts back. Mercedes to Solomon. Goes long. The target, I think, is Moorcroft. Big fly, Croft and Contessa out of play.
All of a sudden, it's the Bombers that are happy to play a loose man in defence. Sean Wellman now playing loose.
It's Mark Johnson.
He went in hard, didn't he?
I reckon the boot might have flicked him on the way through.
Bombers by 10 points. Barnes. Slapped it out, Contessa. Mark Johnson. Moorcroft.
Oh, he didn't have it, surely. Well, there was a bit happening with those two in the blue at half-time, and I think Libber might have got hold of Gary Moorcroft on a tackle, thinking he had the ball and said, I can really dump him here. Unfortunately, Moorcroft didn't have possession of the ball.
He'll fancy himself here. Mark Johnson walks over.
He doesn't take a big kick. You just see him, he didn't take possession, and then he gets slung to the ground.
Yeah, the doggies should get a tall play on the mark, so Moorcroft's got to lift his kick a bit more.
He missed two in the third quarter, didn't he, Moorcroft? This would be a very good goal.
He's going to give it a hoik.
He hasn't got it. He's kicked it to the front of the square.
Big
Croft,
pat.
who's done very well. I know Lloyd's worked hard, but Croft's held his ground.
It's an ugly old handball.
He's had the jobs, Crofty, over the last month, hasn't he?
Johnson.
That's a kick. Almost. Gee, no, it didn't come out wide enough for him. And it's actually a hurtful kick in the end.
Wine's in a bit of strife, isn't he?
Yep. I don't think he can go on.
Who have they got? They've got Bartlett to come back. They've patched him up, I think.
They got the kid Dooley as well.
He's out there, I think. So
Garlick's coming off for Bartlett.
yeah, Bartlett to get on, so they need a tall. Johnson was strong, got it to Mark Johnson. Up and under. Lloyd caught underneath. Wine's going to... No, he didn't take the mark. Moorcroft's there. Contessa just a little held on to. Moorcroft scrapping well with Libba. They're in hard at it. Ball up.
Bartlett's back on, boys. He's gone to full forward. Garlick has come off the ground.
She won it inside the 50s. So the Doggies have actually done pretty well inside 50 for a percentage of getting what they've got out of it all. Because they've kicked 2-1. So Wine forced to go on here, and Contessa and Lucas boundary.
Don't forget the bench. Robbins is injured also. Nathan Eagleson's got a crook leg as well.
45-725.
Big crowd.
So pretty close to the max here.
Good crowd.
Barnes and Wine. At the back, Ramiro, good give to West. Still running strongly, West. Didn't get enough on it. Grant tried to read it. Fletcher's handball, back to Mark Johnson at centre wing. Over the top to Lloyd, very deep. Gets it high over Ramiro, gets it to half forward. Some good shepherding work by the Bulldogs. They've got numbers everywhere. To Libba from Contessa to Johnson. Lloyd's got it at centre wing. He's got loose players everywhere. He uses Smoke and Joe. He can go laterally to Pry. He does. Now out very wide on the flank. Gee, he had to take that in the end, didn't he?
Tell you what, keep your feet.
He took a risk going to ground, didn't
he? Big risk.
That's what's in front of him.
It's a pretty packed forward line. They'll be happy to chip this around and just try and open up a little space somewhere that they can get into about the 45-metre mark.
Wouldn't surprise me if in about 3 minutes' time, when we're just sneaking over the 20-minute mark, because Lowe's got goals scored.
Lucas about 45 out if he wants him.
He might just start bottling it up.
Good call, Jason.
You could just see he was just waiting for the space to open around him. In the end, the leading pack hit him as he took the mark, but he had a matchup that he liked. Hudson was standing inside, as we see Curley and Mercury going at it in the background. Now, this is a very important kick. He's had a pretty ordinary night. He disguised the kick as well. He looked like he was going to kick it long. He just chipped it to Scott Lucas. This is an important kick. He hasn't had a great night, Scott Lucas, but he can really give them some breathing space.
Did not kick a goal against Carlton. Would not want 2 weeks in a row in pressure games without a goal, would he?
Has had 10 marks, but it hasn't been a great performance from him. He's just found space. He's been loose a lot.
He is a beautiful kick normally, but that's not going to come back enough.
So hard to read into the stats tonight, because the Bulldogs falling off and playing about 8 blokes inside 50. Big Cess, Stephen Alessio coming back. It's hard to read into the stats because there's so many easy ones around the midfield as you come forward.
That's what's in front of Cootie. Lowest score the Bombers have kicked this year, 12-17 on 2 occasions, in wet weather in Sydney and on a dirty night in Adelaide. So they're only on 12-9. Out wide. Jason Johnson to Long. He was the architect in the first 3 quarters. Ramanowski to off the side. Here's a chance. Dooley did well. Eagleton, can he get on? He doesn't look fully fit. Chris Grant, well done. Eagleton to West. Can he break it? Goes back to Eagleton. An important kick. He's got Colin. He's got him. Who's better to have it either?
He was clever, Colin, wasn't he? He saw that unfold and he recognised the space was on the outside of the ground.
All came from a poor kick from Ramanaskas. He just bombed one midfield. This came off the side of the boot. Look at this.
This is counter-punching at its very best, what the Bulldogs are doing here. What a big kick.
Got it.
He's kicked 3.
What a big game.
How good are they?
This.
I mean, they are squeezing everything out of everything they need. A Long coming off.
That's interesting, a big bloke coming on for a small bloke. I know Michael Long's probably tired, but interesting move.
Well, there you go. What Kevin Schute's saying now is, I'm putting Alessio on in the forward line. They're giving the ball to us at half-back midfield, flooding back with numbers. I'm just going to pressure them up forward.
First time this year a team's been within a goal of the Bombers in the time-on period of the last quarter.
This is when the Bulldogs are hard to stop.
Could we see a remarkable victory here against the odds? Jason Johnson to West. Kicks to half forward. Grant has had the better of Fletcher in the one-on-ones. Hudson doesn't give it to Grant. Goes for goal and really should have given it off. Grant had space outside him.
Well, Grant did have the space, but if you ever wanted a bloke to kick one on his, just back himself in, he's the man you'd back in.
Just thought it was there.
Yeah, probably the safer bet, but Oh,
he might be tempted to play on and go for the long one out to Mark Johnson here.
Pressure on Pryor now.
Bombers have only kicked 1 goal in this last quarter, and they got the first goal of the last term. Mark Johnson read it well. He's in strife. Back to Carousella. Oh, good handball to Heffernan. They found a way to Masudi. Over the top. Mercury.
Bang!
Hero was brilliant. Jason Johnson was so strong.
Rode it.
To Moorcroft. To Masiti. Short kick. Lloyd attacks hard. They take him out. Crediuk to Croft.
Here they come, the Bulldogs.
To Brown. He can run.
Brandy.
The kicks to Grant. Will he take Fletcher on the mark here? No.
They're all one out, the forwards.
He's got Bartlett, one out against Wellman. Wellman won't like the body.
Bartlett got underneath it, didn't he? He just ran too hard in the end.
Yeah, they can switch it, the Bombers.
Pryor still he ran it out of play.
Gee, they really wanted to keep that in then and take possession.
You know who I reckon the Doggies need? I know he's out of touch, but they need pure and utter running from the fresh man, Rowan Smith, off the bench into the back line. You almost got to risk it now.
Give him 5 minutes and have a crack.
Yep.
Jason Johnson read it well. Hacks it away to West. Goes short to Ramiro. Is he close enough?
Johnson's run
Johnson.
through.
He's going to go to him. The kicks to Brad Johnson. He's got him. Well, this would be poetic justice if he kicks the goal.
You just get the feeling they're going to win this, the Bulldogs.
Are we seeing something here that is just about... What are you saying? It's just about going to take away the record books, isn't it?
Their self-belief when they get in a winning position, Bulldogs, is undeniable. I mean, they just keep coming.
Think of the scalps this year. Carlton twice. Kangaroos gave them a huge start. Gave Melbourne a big start. Johnson to put them in front. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's at the post.
Second poster for the Doggies. Hudson got one at the other end.
Oh, boy.
What a game of footy.
Just the best game you've seen this year?
By far.
The Bombers have to kick a goal to win. They can't hang on. They will get beaten if they don't kick another goal.
We've had other close games, but Essendon are the heavyweight, and somebody has come up to match them.
Well, 9 possessions to Scott West in this term. The Bombers are Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier and George Foreman rolled into one, aren't they? But we're about
look at this.
to find something here.
Gee, that was
Solomon,
a risky kick.
Back to Wellman. Moorcroft wants it short. Wellman's got him. Players don't know how long to go. They look at the clock, 24 minutes gone. There is a fair bit of footy left. Moorcroft short to Carousella.
They could almost run it down from here. They'd just about be thinking, is it time to?
Short. You reckon they have to get that goal to win, don't you?
I still think they need to kick a goal to win.
Yep. Heffernan wide.
It's too early to do this, even though there haven't been a lot of goals kicked.
Barnes to Mark Johnson at centre wing.
They've already retreated back in, the Doggies. They've got their zone back inside.
Buick.
That's why Buick finds space.
They've done this well. They've kept moving the ball forward whilst chipping it around.
They can just get someone within range or someone who can burst when he gets it. Dooley did well.
That wasn't a good option by Darren Buick.
They've got numbers out this side of the ground. If they can get the change out here,
they'll run it. They'll run it.
Libba's kick is a good one. To Eagleton.
Look at Cox.
Cox or Bartlett, take your pick. Cox has got it.
Hudson will move.
The kicks to Hudson now, uses his body. Still Hudson, still with Hudson. It's a chance of the bounces back, no.
2 shots for Paul Hudson.
Ramanassa's coming off, Michael Long's coming on. Both sides look very, very tight. The only fresh man out there is Alessio, who's spent most of the time on the bench tonight.
And Rowan Smith on for the Bulldogs.
3 points for Hudson tonight. Kicked the match winner last week. Well, this is new territory for the Bombers.
They're playing with fire, the Bulldogs.
And Fletcher has turned it over to Paul Hudson, who's kicked 3 points tonight. Last week he kicked the match winner against Collingwood.
Now, I do know one thing. He does like to kick the ball dead straight, and he is swinging them right to left, Jason. So, in a minor sense, he might even have the yips, so to speak, on his goal kicking at the moment. So this is full of pressure.
I would back him in. He's had enough chances. He doesn't miss them all, and it was just a sign of the pressure, Dustin Fletcher.
Hudson from 48. He's kicked 4 behinds.
Gee, that wasn't even close.
Yep.
It's a 1-point game.
That's the way he normally kicks them, but not the direction then. But he hasn't allowed for that swing then. He's run straight at it.
Doggies have won 3 games by under a goal this year. Bombers have never been involved in one like this.
Yeah.
Bruce, what happens with the streak if there's a draw?
Now, that's a good question. The unbeaten streak remains, the winning one doesn't. The bang down the centre. Don't make life hard. To West, ducked. Gets it forward.
Good umpiring.
Long hurled out to Curley. West has had it last quarter.
Oh, look at this.
Hans, little one. He's got him. He's got...
They just have to
Eagleton.
take one of these chances. They have mucked around with it, Essendon, and they deserve to get beat.
I'll tell you what,
Johnson coming off too. Boydley's injured.
Jason Johnson, it is like the Bombers are stuck on the ropes waiting to be knocked out and they can't quite put them away.
And once again, we've got Nathan Eagleton, and he is a massive hook foot for a left footer. I don't know if this can suit him.
Well, you would think he would at least tie the scores up if he doesn't kick a goal.
Ooh.
He's got Curley short.
What are we looking at here?
He can kick it. Eagle can kick this. 47 metres out. No, he can't.
He's missed
he can't
everything.
Score. Off hands. Fletcher out in the full.
It is 2.
Out on the full from Fletcher.
How many mistakes can the Bombers make?
Well, Collingwood's got it.
He's got to kick a banana, surely.
I mean, if the siren set...
Oh, Chris Grant's got it.
Grant's got it.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, a couple of years ago I said Carey would have kicked a goal in Perth that Grant didn't make. This is the sort of goal that the champ might kick here.
I reckon that stung him a bit, and he wants these.
Will he kick a banana, or will he run out onto the left foot?
This is where Hudson was last week. Exactly the same spot.
36th position.
Over left foot.
He kicked the goal to bring him back into the game.
Got
it's
it.
a great kick. He's kicked it. A magnificent effort. He will be a hero forever if they win this match.
Surely they're home this time. Now, if you have a look at this, they will flood the ground something fierce now.
Look at the centre square boys.
They have only 3 players forward of the centre circle.
There's the
Bulldogs.
kick.
Do they get a message to tell them how long to go? Do they get the message out?
You would be sending the runner out to tell them.
Fletcher's pushed forward. The message has gone out.
The message to tell them how long to go.
If they get a possession, the Bulldogs, they will then try and chip it around. This is where the Bombers have to man up.
The Doggies are going
Have a
with
look at that.
3
That's
men
on
in
the
their
bomb
forward line, the 4 on the ball, and about a dozen players in defence. Hudson's running to defence now. 2-man forward line.
Wine, Liberatore.
That's no attempt.
Mark Mercuri's limping down here, but he's by himself on the wing, and that's why Hudson went to pick him up. And Mercury wants to come off the ground.
Bounce it quickly.
So Barnes and Wine. Mark Johnson, Ramanauskas gets it forward to 50. Moorcroft, it looked high. No free kick being paid. It'll be a brave umpire. Liberatore's kick away. Mercedes Brown, Mark Johnson. The numbers are with the Bombers. Then Buick builds it back. Can somebody take a mark? Chris Grant front spot. Big fly came from Barnes. Shepherds, Blumfield. Long's a clever player. He hooks it back. Lloyd can take it. He can't quite. Croft got back with everything he had and forced it out. What a play.
He was looking for the free kick, Matthew Lloyd, too.
Oh. Stirring stuff. Will this mighty run come to an end, or will they find a way? Crediuk. Was it high? Ramiro.
A lot of players playing
goes to
for free
ground.
kicks.
Croft blazes, but he blazes it hard and long. Is it out on the full? It's close. West nearly takes the mark. Buick, West, over the top, gets it out. Mercedes pretty tired. They're all tired. The Doggies are scrapping. They're in it. They go forward. The
They'll get
great
home.
run's in trouble.
They'll get home.
Has anybody coached a better game than Terry Wallace? There's still time.
You saw that, I reckon Longy could have just about spotted that himself. If they can get one more forward thrust, and the Doggies got all their numbers back in the goal line, they'll get it here, the Bombers.
Dooley, Mercedes, the Bombers need something clean. It's not coming. Liberatore gets it back to West. West goes forward to Collinyuk. Collinyuk hooks it back. Rowan Smith's come onto the ground. They've done it. They've won it.
That gets them in the finals.
The Doggies are in the finals, and the great run has come to an end. It is one of the matches that you'll never forget. Remarkable scenes here. Now Brad Johnson is running the goal to Smith. Brad Johnson's running up to Barnesy in the pot.
He's run the length of the field, and he's giving it to him.
Gee, that
is symbolic. And Moorcroft giving him a mouthful, and
I tell you what.
Jono goes back.
Yep. Johnson's happy to shake their hands, but with
Except
Barnesy, he wasn't going to take any prisoners tonight.
None. Terry Wallace, stand up and take a bow because he has coached this team to a win.
They kicked the last 5 goals of the game, the Bulldogs.
You said they had to kick
They kicked
five.
the last 5 goals of the game. The Bombers led by 3.5 goals in the last quarter.